Chapter 1785, Yen D. The Deployment Spell Master. After the statues, there rose a golden palace. At that moment, many people were there. However, they were all stuck, as there was an illusion deployment spell in front of them. Many people were stuck in that illusion spell. Some of them were astonishingly strong, such as Empress Shi in the Netherworld Demonic Emperor, but they still couldn't cross the illusion spell. Boom! Someone groaned with pain. Someone was attacked, and the crowd moved away. The person crashed onto the ground, already a cold and rigid corpse. Another deployment spell caster died, thought the watchers in astonishment. Nobody dared act carelessly, after all, they were already strong cultivators. Even if they weren't great emperors, they were high-level emperors. Their strength was restrained in here, however. Even people from the Moon Palace were stuck. At that moment, the celestial women walked out in line. "Milady, someone seems to be controlling that deployment spell, it keeps changing all the time." "I can't change it," one of the celestial women informed her, pulling a long face. Behind her, there were many deployment spell casters. "Are you sure?" asked Empress Shi calmly. She didn't seem to be worried. "Milady, for sure, it keeps changing all the time. We keep failing, otherwise, we would have broken it already," said another one. Empress Shi's beautiful eyes glittered. "The strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan are dead already. If there's anyone alive, it can only be a thread of will. Until now, the traps looked more like tests, so there's no reason that we can't continue." Empress Shi then looked at the deployment spell and wondered, "Yen D, did you arrive before everyone else?" "Yen D." The others frowned. There were many people from the vast celestial ancient city in the crowd. Older people knew about Yen D, the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Even the strong cultivators of the ancient holy clans would not forget about him. At that moment, a voice spoke out and said, "Empress Shi, back then, where did you seal your soul and godly awareness?" "In my grave, in a book," Empress Shi answered calmly. The crowd frowned. That deployment spell was a person. A voice came from there and was making fun of Empress Shi. The 3 live scriptures had been broken. "I should have thought about it. You sealed your godly awareness and soul in a book. You didn't die for cultivation. You had 2 goals, the first one was to recover, and the second one was that you wanted to study the ancient scriptures for 1,000 years. 3 live scriptures." The crowd was astonished and shook with greed. Were the rumors true? Was there anything between Empress Shi and the 3 lives great emperor? Had the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan really been destroyed because of the 3 lives great emperor? Empress Shi had been injured back then, she had sealed her consciousness and soul in the 3 live scriptures, and recovered and studied the 3 live scriptures for 1,000 years. The crowd watched Empress Shi. She didn't say anything, as if the voice was right. Silence, and then, the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's ancient palace was created by the ancestors. Indeed, there were tests in here. The reason was to find a genius, transmit the secrets of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to them, and allow the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to revive. The second reason was to wait for me if I didn't die. Luckily, I'm alive and now I'm back in the palace. Today, my enemies are here, too. If anyone kills Empress Shi, I agree to transmit the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to them, including the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, and the Celestial Deployment Spells, the hoarse voice informed them. The crowd was astonished. "Kill Empress Shi? And obtain the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? Kill Empress Shi?" At that moment, the crowd looked at Empress Shi. If they killed her, they would need to kill the demonic emperor as well, but it also meant that they might offend the 3 lives great emperor. "Empress Shi's cultivation is restrained, you really have an opportunity. All the people who contribute will obtain the 3 live scriptures," the hoarse voice continued. Many people were getting excited. Empress Shi and the Netherworld demonic emperor's cultivation were suppressed, they were both low-level emperors in here. Everybody had the possibility to kill them. The Netherworld demonic emperor slowly turned around and looked at the crowd, the 9 netherworlds flowed in the air. People's hearts were pounding. They protected their wills with their godly awareness, some people who had weak wills sensed that they were losing control. What a terrifying 9 netherworld song will, thought the crowd with a shiver. The Netherworld demonic emperor watched the crowd coldly, and his energies slowly dispersed. He didn't say anything at all the entire time. The Netherworld demonic emperor's demonic song has already reached the acme of perfection. His cultivation is incredible. In the blink of an eye, he can sing his song and corrode someone's will. Even if his cultivation is suppressed, with his 9 netherworlds demonic song, he will take control of many people, thought the crowd. They hesitated even more, not knowing what to do. Nobody dared attack Empress Shi. Even if they really killed her, they knew that the first people who attacked her would die. Therefore, nobody dared make the first step. They preferred waiting for someone else to start. At that moment, more and more people arrived, including Lin Feng and the others. They didn't know what was going on, however. They just glanced around at the golden room and remained silent. You don't dare kill Empress Shi, it seems, prodded the voice. Lin Feng frowned. He recognized that voice, it was familiar to him. Yan Di. He didn't change his voice, thought Lin Feng. That guy was already in the palace. Since you don't dare kill her, I'll give you a chance. Out of 10 people, if one of you kills 9 others, then I'll let them come into the deployment spell and I'll transmit the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan to them, and allow them to help the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan come back to life, said the hoarse voice coldly. The crowd was stupefied. One person. Kill 9 others? My people, let's destroy the deployment spell. He's alone. Even if he can change the deployment spell, if you join hands, his deployment spells won't stop us, said Empress Shi. If we break the deployment spell, we'll be able to kill him. Of course, we'll also be able to obtain everything that's in the palace. Everybody, let's walk abreast, we can control deployment spells. Let's join hands with the celestial women, we can break the deployment spell, agreed a deployment spell caster. Killing Empress Shi was impossible, killing 9 people was difficult too, maybe they would die, the 2 options were very dangerous. Trying to break the deployment spell was risky too, but if they joined hands with everybody else, it wasn't that dangerous. I agree, said someone else. We've so many people, let's just overwhelm the deployment spell. We'll definitely manage to break it, spoke up someone else. After all, in that ancient palace, cultivation levels were restrained. They didn't believe that so many strong cultivators couldn't break a deployment spell. Very quickly, everybody agreed and got ready to break the deployment spell. Lin Feng was alarmed for Yan Di. If those people managed to break the deployment spell, then Yan Di would be in danger. Everyone must participate, otherwise, we'll kill them, said a strong cultivator, sharply glancing at the crowd. Now, everybody come next to the deployment spell casters in the middle, the celestial women can help from behind since they modify energies. Even if there are tensions between some of you, now, forget about them and join hands to break the deployment spell, ordered another strong cultivator. Many people joined the line. Lin Feng and the others also stood before the deployment spell. Who dared not to join? They had no choice. They had little choice but to obey stronger cultivators, even if their cultivation levels were restrained in there. Everybody, attack, came the order. Instantly, a massive amount of chi invaded the atmosphere and rolled out in mighty waves, thundering madly as they assaulted the deployment spell ahead of them. However, the energies immediately dispersed. That's a gigantic deployment spell. It's very difficult to break it with strength, a deployment spell caster spoke up. Everybody, walk forward at the same time, came the order. The crowd stepped forwards. However, at that moment, they realized that they were stuck in fog. "Let's continue attacking," said another strong cultivator. Hundreds and hundreds of threads of energy spread out in the air, but nothing worked. "You want to bring about your own destruction," an amused voice spoke up. The crowd then saw marks on the ground which started glowing. "Oh no, the deployment spells are changing by themselves." "Back," shouted someone. The crowd started running backwards, but it was already too late. The deployment spell absorbed them and suddenly they sensed that they were being teleported and separated. Chapter 1786, Attacking by Surprise. The deployment spells changed. Lin Feng and the others realized that they were back in the palace again. The palace was gigantic, with golden stones everywhere. There were carvings on the walls, including supernatural birds. There was a gigantic cauldron containing a yellow qi. It looked like a precious treasure. Some whistling sounds arose and suddenly someone threw themselves at the cauldron. A hand grabbed it, and the cauldron disappeared. Everybody frowned and looked at that person coldly. The strong cultivator who took the cauldron frowned and looked strange. Lin Feng and the others were near the crowd a moment before, so they had been teleported as well. Tan Tai wanted to walk forwards, but Lin Feng prevented him from doing so, saying, "Wait. That cauldron is a precious treasure," protested Tan Tai. However, Lin Feng remained silent for a few seconds and said, "It's an illusion. Everything can change any time. Yan Di wouldn't leave precious treasures in there." Actually, the others knew that it was an illusion as well. The cauldron was probably fake, but it was worth trying. "Take that cauldron out. Let me see what it is," someone demanded. The one who had just taken the cauldron pulled a long face and said, "That cauldron was fake. There's nothing in it. It disappeared when I touched it. I didn't take it." "Show me your ring and prove it then," said that person coldly. Even though he sort of believed that person, he still wanted to make sure. "Yan Di wants us to separate." The one who had taken the cauldron pulled a long face. He understood what Yan Di was trying to do. "Even if Yan Di wanted to separate us, you were greedy, you were the first one to jump onto that precious item. You made a mistake, so now show your ring or we'll join hands to kill you," someone else threatened him. People started surrounding the man. That person's face turned deathly pale. For cultivators, a ring was something extremely personal and very important. It contained precious treasures and secret pieces of information. Nobody ever agreed to show their ring to other people. It was a humiliation and disaster. "You're going too far," said the one who had stolen the cauldron. If he showed his ring to them, they'd steal his ring and the treasures inside. Gloom invaded the atmosphere. Lin Feng looked at that person emotionlessly. He understood Yan Di. He knew that the cauldron was fake. In the vast palace, apart from Lin Feng and his friends, there were many other people. One of them walked to one side and attacked the palace. That person released brilliant lights. A golden blade appeared in the air and started attacking the palace, but no sound resulted. The attack just crossed the wall as if going through nothing. The palace seemed to be an illusion. At the same time, people started fighting because of the cauldron. In the end, the cultivator threw his rings away, but he still died. The people stole his rings and killed him. However, after they killed him and stole his rings, people started battling again. This time, they fought over his rings. "Yan Di is amazing. There must be other illusions," whispered Lin Feng. The strong cultivator who had walked aside said, "Think of a solution to get out of here. Stop fighting. Dying here is worthless." Those people were surprised. They knew that getting out was a priority. However, nobody wanted to give up treasures, and therefore, the battle continued until 2 more people died. When you attack the illusion, it's as if you were attacking the air. "How do you break it?" said one of the cultivators, staring at the wall. The palace looked so real. "If it's a deployment spell, it can be broken. If it's not, then we must rely on strength." But our cultivation is restrained here, one person can't break it. Maybe if we join hands, we can break it, replied that strong cultivator. The others nodded and walked over to one side. You look quite detached, do you have a solution? That person asked Lin Feng directly. We can only try what you just said, Lin Feng replied calmly. Lin Feng, a voice spoke in his brain. Yan Di. Lin Feng frowned. Yan Di was talking to him using telepathy. Yan Di was the master of the deployment spells. Lin Feng, I need your help, Yan Di said to Lin Feng. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled, how can I help you? Kill everyone in the illusion. Everyone. Yan Di said icily. Lin Feng was stunned. How cruel. I can't hold on for too long. They will manage to break the deployment spell. When they do, the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan will be wiped off the map of the continent of the 9 clouds forever. Little bastard, this time, you must help me, Yan Di said gravely. He had never talked to Lin Feng that way. Even if I kill everyone in here, what about the other illusions? Won't people manage to break them? Asked Lin Feng. Yes. Therefore, use your people to help me. Kill everyone, said Yan Di. The people who had managed to come were all incredible cultivators. Killing all of them was cruel. Besides, if people learned about it in the outside world, the consequences would be tragic. Don't worry. You have many people with you. If they listen to you, you can kill everyone in one strike. Those people are not prepared, they won't have time to react. They would never expect you to attack them. Therefore, nobody will know about it, said Yan Di. Lin Feng, I'm alone and I won't resist much longer. My life is in your hands, you want them to die or me? You bastard, said Lin Feng. How could he attack those people by surprise and kill them all? Bastard, I've killed so many people for you. I've never asked you for anything. Now, the fate of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan is in your hands. Just do as you wish, said Yan Di. Lin Feng was speechless. Indeed, Yan Di had helped him a lot. He had killed many people to protect Lin Feng. If Lin Feng didn't help Yan Di, then he would contribute to killing him. He would regret it forever. Lin Feng's eyes were suddenly filled with ice. Since those people had come to steal treasures, they were going to pay the price for it. Everybody knew that they could die when doing such things. He had to protect Yan Di. Don't be surprised, but keep calm no matter what, Lin Feng said to his friends using telepathy. They looked surprised, but only for an eye blink before recovering their calm. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's Crown Prince controls the deployment spells, he's also my friend, like a brother to me. Therefore, I'm going to attack, but I'm not going to attack the illusion, I'm going to attack those people and you will help me, we must kill them. We must kill them in one attack, they don't expect us to attack so they won't have time to defend themselves, said Lin Feng. When they heard Lin Feng, his friends were stunned, but tried to look calm. Remember, if you kill someone, you get their treasures. You must kill them in one attack though, said Lin Feng. Everybody's cultivation level was restrained in there. If the others didn't protect themselves, they wouldn't withstand a single attack. There should be no problem. At that moment, Lin Feng and the others were already together, and they heard the leader of the other group say, everybody gather together and attack. If anyone doesn't attack, we'll kill them. Then, he released Qi. When I say, attack, everybody attack at the same time. Everybody condense strength. Lin Feng and his friends were next to the crowd. A mighty Devamara rule strength rose up in the air with his cosmic energies. When everybody was done condensing energies, the lead cultivator shouted, attack. Everybody else attacked the walls, and Lin Feng and his friends immediately attacked them. Only after they realized that energies were moving towards them, did they belatedly realize what was going on. Oh. Chapter 1787, Cruel. The leader had said that if anyone didn't attack at the same time, they'd kill them. Therefore, everybody had attacked, they didn't dare go against him. However, they couldn't imagine that a whole group of people wouldn't obey them, and worse, they couldn't imagine that those people would attack them by surprise. They all had the same cultivation level in there, so it was even worse. Thunder shook the air as their heads exploded, blood gushed everywhere. Many people didn't even have time to give out shriek as they died. Lin Feng released wind cosmic energies and punched someone faster than an eye blink. That person was possibly a high-level emperor, but his cultivation level was restrained in there, so his head was blown apart. Arg. Lin Feng raised his head and saw two silhouettes floating in the air. Those two strong cultivators' souls had left their bodies. One of them was an animal spirit, a mighty demonic ox. The other one was half tree, half human. Why? Asked the tree in a detached way. He was the one who had given the order to attack the wall. He looked calm, and not even upset. Even though he had died, he wanted to understand. Even souls were restrained in there, and without a physical body, he was very weak. He knew that he was going to die, but he wanted to know why. Because you should not have come here, Lin Feng answered coldly. Suddenly, he rose up in the air and released Devamara Kulpa strength to surround the tree. Rule, shouted Lin Feng grimly. In a flash, the Devamara Kulpa strength rule destroyed the tree's soul, and then he destroyed the other one beside it. Lin Feng and his friends were the last ones there. They had killed everyone else. Lin Feng glanced around and said, "Those people were strong cultivators, take their treasures." Lin Feng then gazed into the distance and said, "What do I do now?" "I'll guide you." Yan Di's voice replied telepathically. Lin Feng sensed a godly awareness fuse together with his own and guide him along. The illusion became transparent, he could see everything. The area was vast and occluded by fog. There were many people there, but for them the fog looked like palaces. With Yan Di guiding Lin Feng, the illusion disappeared. What Lin Feng saw was real. Lin Feng also saw Yan Di. At that moment, Lin Feng was standing in a golden palace. The palace looked like the one he was in a moment before, majestic and domineering. There were carved balustrades and marbled steps. There was no cauldron, however. There was a golden chair with marks on it. At that moment, Yan Di was seated on it with his eyes closed. His powerful godly awareness was surrounding him with powerful, ever-changing lights. Yan Di wasn't alone, there were some people with him, wearing golden robes and seated cross-legged. They looked very learned. At that moment, their eyes were closed and they seemed to be practicing cultivation. Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's people. Lin Feng was startled. No wonder Yan Di had asked him for help. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had to avoid being destroyed. Were those people strong cultivators from the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? They had reached a crucial moment in their cultivation. Lin Feng, you saw everything, it's difficult for me to hold on, said Yan Di. Lin Feng nodded. He glanced at the illusions and at the people inside it. If they managed to break the deployment spells, then Yan Di and the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's people would be in great danger. Everybody follow me, close your eyes and follow me. We'll do the same thing again. Kill everyone in the illusions, said Lin Feng to his team. Everybody closed their eyes and relaxed. At that moment, they immediately landed in another palace. Suddenly, a powerful chi surrounded them. The people in that illusion looked at them coldly and said, "How did you get in?" "He's the guy who understands deployment spells." "He was the second one to get in," spoke up someone else, staring at Lin Feng coldly. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled as he said, "I understand deployment spells a little bit. We're in an illusion, the illusions don't exist. If you think it exists, then it exists. If you think it doesn't, then it disappears. A moment ago, my friends and I forgot about everything, and when we opened our eyes, we were here. I think that if we keep doing that, we'll manage to leave the illusion." People's eyes lit up. What Lin Feng said didn't seem illogical. It seemed simple enough, but appropriate too. And Lin Feng had ended up in their palace, after all. Try again, ordered that person, staring at Lin Feng. That's exactly what I mean. Wait for me. I'll try, said Lin Feng to Ho Chin Lin and the others. Then, he closed his eyes and took 2 steps forwards, and disappeared from the people's field of vision. It really worked, thought the crowd excitedly. After a moment, Lin Feng reappeared. Everybody, it works, if we forget everything, we can get out. We must continue, said Lin Feng with a smile. Then, his silhouette flickered, he landed in front of the crowd and said, everybody, let's continue together, we'll be stronger and stronger, if we face danger when we leave, then we can join hands. Everybody remained silent and then nodded, that's a good idea. Tell us the details, what do we do? You have to be in a deep meditative state of mind and forget about everything. Then, the illusion disappears. I've tried many times already, replied Lin Feng. Everybody walked up to the edge of the palace. We have to support each other, if someone succeeds, maybe that they can take someone with them, we have to be in symbiosis, said Lin Feng, nodding at everybody. Then, he closed his eyes again and relaxed. There was absolutely no qi around him. Alright, let's relax together and forget about everything. When I say go, we'll go together, said Lin Feng to the crowd. Everybody closed their eyes and relaxed. Lin Feng had succeeded in front of them, so he wasn't lying. When I say go, everybody attack at the same time. Lin Feng said to his people telepathically. Everybody agreed motionlessly. One group was completely relaxed and the other one was getting ready to attack. Everybody, let's go, said Lin Feng. They slowly walked forwards and at the same time, a terrifyingly cold qi invaded the atmosphere. Lin Feng turned into a sharp sword and crossed the room at full speed. His attack was even more terrifying than the first time. A sonic boom spread in the air as he started moving. 10 people ended up like insects and died in the blink of an eye. How could they know that it was an ambush? But 2 people dodged the attack, they had paid attention. However, it was useless. After the others died, Lin Feng and the others landed next to them. That's how you get out of the illusion, asked one of them to Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng shook his head and said, I'm the only one who can take people out. You can't leave alone. Why? Because the illusion doesn't exist for me, said Lin Feng. At the same time, everybody attacked, and even though those 2 cultivators were strong, they couldn't do much against them. After that, Lin Feng went to another palace and continued. However, this time, there was a very, very strong cultivator among them, a great emperor. His willpower was terrifying, and his cosmic energies blocked Lin Feng and his friends' attacks. Even though they eventually managed to kill him in the end, 5 of them were injured. Lin Feng understood that even though their strength was restrained, they couldn't take too many risks. At that moment, Lin Feng looked at another illusion and said, Ji Chang and Yuan Ho won't trust us. We need to attack them directly. Chapter 1788, Studying the Rebirth Scriptures together. Lin Feng continued hunting. He didn't want to attack Empress Shi and the Netherworld Emperor yet. Yuan Ho and the others would also be difficult to deal with, as they didn't trust Lin Feng. If they met, they would immediately start battling. Some other people were extremely strong and were difficult to defeat. Just now, a great emperor had almost killed some of them. 5 people were injured. If they encountered such a cultivator again, they'd be in trouble. Great emperors were still very strong even if their cultivation levels were restrained in here. Lin Feng could only attack them by surprise. He had to fool people. Lin Feng's team was surprised and cautious. If anyone learned about what they had done, the consequences would be terrifying. They had already killed so many people from the vast celestial ancient city in the universities, it was dangerous. Lin Feng was definitely fearless. Lin Feng had no choice. His friend Yan Di was in danger, and he couldn't let him die. Lin Feng, where are we going now? At that moment, Lin Feng and his team were hidden within an illusion. They all smelled like blood. Let me see. Lin Feng inspected the area. There were only 6 illusions left with people inside, the others were empty. The remaining ones were the most difficult ones, however. At that moment, the sound of Yan Di groaning in pain was audible. The illusions quickly turned to dust and disappeared. Suddenly, everybody appeared in the Golden Palace. The deployment spell was already destroyed. Those who hadn't dared to enter appeared and quickly came over there. A bunch of people were seated and had chi around them. Other people gradually appeared. In the back of the palace, there was a golden chair, where Yan Di suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the crowd. Yan Di wasn't wearing Taoist clothes anymore, he was wearing a golden robe and had a golden helmet on. He looked domineering and majestic, an aristocrat, proud and arrogant. Yan Di was the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Empress Shi and the others have come to my Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. How may I help you? Asked Yan Di, smiling indifferently. Then, he slowly stood up and walked forward smiling. He looked perfectly normal, as if nothing had happened. At that moment, Empress Shi didn't look at Yan Di. She looked at the cultivators who were seated there. Her eyes were filled with sharp lights. Rebirth intent, you helped these dead people come back to life. Empress Shi looked at Yan Di. Surprisingly, Yan Di wanted to bring those people back to life. Indeed, rebirth. Let bygones be bygones, said Yan Di smiling. Nobody knew what he was thinking. When the crowd heard the two of them, they looked at the cultivators who were seated. Were they practicing rebirth scriptures? That's the real Yan Di, thought Lin Feng. The strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan were recovering. They had reached a crucial point in their cultivation. If Empress Shi attacked them, Yan Di and the others might die. Yan Di is back, everybody has come from very far away and wants to see your treasures. Everything is in your hands now, Empress Shi said to a deployment spell caster next to her. Everybody's eyes twinkled. Indeed, Yan Di had come back before them, now they had to kidnap him. Everybody, if you want treasures, no problem. The only problem is that the strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan have reached a crucial point in their cultivation, please be patient. They have the legacy of the clan with them. We initially wanted to choose people to transmit the legacy of the clan to, but since I came back first, I decided to let the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan study the rebirth scriptures. As before, those who want to obtain the legacy of our clan will have their wish fulfilled, as long as they wholeheartedly vow to join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, said Yan Di. Everybody looked skeptical. If they waited for those people to come back to life, they'd be in danger. It wouldn't be easy to obtain the treasures of the clan. They had seen the terrifying wills which had protected the palace. Yan Di wanted those people to come back to life, they were probably extremely strong. Since the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's crown prince is back in the ancient palace and the others want to obtain the legacy of the clan, there's only one solution, the crown prince must die. If we wait, we won't have a chance anymore, someone else spoke up coldly. The crowd started walking forwards. Even though Yan Di looked calm, on the inside, he was very nervous. If you all decide to attack the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, you will never receive the legacy of the clan. And you may not leave alive either, Yan Di smiled. In front of him, a golden picture appeared and brilliant light spread out. Everybody narrowed their pupils, and many people who were moving towards him stopped. Many people had gone into the illusions, but when the illusions had disappeared, many people had disappeared. Many people thought that Yan Di had killed them with powerful deployment spells, and were wary. Those golden lights could be a terrifying deployment spell. Everybody, relax, that's not a deployment spell, said a deployment spell caster. Since it's not a deployment spell, come and have a try, said Yan Di, smiling at that deployment spell caster. Everybody looked at him, immediate putting him under pressure. That deployment spell caster walked forwards, explosions erupted in the air. The cultivator used an agility technique, marks appeared and moved towards the cultivators who were seated and practicing cultivation. Yan Di looked quite calm, remaining motionless as thunder boomed around him. Marks bombarded one of them. Lights twinkled and marks broke apart. Deployment spell. The watchers were astonished, there were deployment spells everywhere in there, the cultivators who were practicing cultivation were protected by deployment spells. You dared disturb the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan while they're practicing cultivation. You're acting recklessly. If anyone kills him, they'll receive the teachings of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, said Yan Di. Then, he said to Lin Feng using telepathy, little bastard, take that guy out. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Yan Di was wasting time on purpose so Lin Feng would have time to intervene. Lin Feng slowly walked forwards and said to the deployment spellcaster, I'm sure the Crown Prince is honest. Come here. That person looked at Lin Feng coldly. Empress, she frowned. Other people maybe didn't know that guy and Yan Di were friends, but the 9 Netherworld's Emperor and Empress, she knew that they were close. She just looked at him though. In the crowd, there were great emperors too, but their cultivation was restrained so they preferred being vigilant. If they didn't understand something and died carelessly, that would just be too tragic. Let's see how a little boy can kill me, said the deployment spellcaster. Under his feet, marks appeared and charged at Lin Feng. Since their cultivation was restrained, people who understood deployment spells had an advantage here. Dong! Lin Feng walked forwards too. Lights twinkled. The deployment spellcaster was startled, and jumped back as more marks moved towards Lin Feng. Boom, boom. Lin Feng accelerated, marks intertwined, the two fighters were not fighting with strength, but with deployment spells. They kept colliding and intertwining. Very quickly, a pattern appeared on the ground, both of them in the middle. Die, shouted the deployment spellcaster furiously. He continued carving marks on the ground. His robe was fluttering. However, surprisingly, the lights slowed down, the deployment spellcaster frowned, his deployment spell was broken. Imprison, shouted Lin Feng. The picture surrounded him. Destroy. Destructive energies filled the air, the deployment spellcaster wanted to escape, but the lights surrounded him and he exploded. Chapter 1789, Sharing Scriptures. What a powerful deployment spell. That deployment spellcaster was extremely strong and he died, killed by a deployment spell. Thought the astonished crowd. Ji Chang's club, Yuan Ho, and the others' hearts were pounding violently, especially Yuan Ho's. He had sent 5 cultivators who were in the ranking list to kill Lin Feng, including Feng He Sha, but Lin Feng was still alive. He couldn't investigate any closer, otherwise, everybody would know that he had plotted against Lin Feng and Ji Chang's club would be humiliated. Maybe Lin Feng had killed them with deployment spells. Lin Feng glanced at Yan Di smiled and said, I said it, if someone killed him, he'd receive the legacy of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Come here, you are now a member of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. What is he doing? Thought Lin Feng walking towards Yan Di. Yan Di released his godly awareness, which moved straight into Lin Feng's brain. Nobody interrupted them, they wanted to see if Yan Di was really going to transmit something to Lin Feng. When he finished, Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. He was staring at Yan Di. What do you think of the ancient holy scriptures of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? Asked Yan Di smiling. He really looked like an aristocratic crown prince, magnanimous and trustworthy. Lin Feng's heart sped up. The crowd could now establish a connection between Lin Feng and Yan Di, but Lin Feng had obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, that was a good thing. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan represent an extensive knowledge and profound scholarship. I need to study them, thank you, Your Highness, nodded Lin Feng. The crowd frowned. Lin Feng had really obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. Many people looked surprised and stared at Lin Feng. They wanted to know if he had really obtained something or not. 1, 2, 3 lives, the 10,000 things of creation. When modifying the 10,000 things of creation, you obtain the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. They are similar to deployment spells. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures help you understand the secrets of creation, recited Lin Feng. Simple words, mysterious and complex principles. The crowd looked at Lin Feng coldly. Lin Feng had really obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. In the world, many people talk a lot, but the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures are really incredible and really help you understand the 10,000 things of creation, just like you said. If you understand the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, it helps you understand deployment spells. You can modify things without limits, Yen Di proclaimed serenely. The crowd just listened to them and forgot what they had been about to do. Believe me, Empress Shi knows what I'm talking about, she has studied the 3 live scriptures before, said Yen Di, smiling at Empress Shi. Empress Shi looked back at Yen Di calmly. She knew she couldn't ask people to kill Yen Di anymore. Those people who were practicing the rebirth skill could wake up at any time, and the holy leader of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan didn't make mistakes. He had been waiting for Yen Di. Yen Di had arrived first and things had completely changed. Yen Di smiled at the crowd, as I said, if anyone wants to join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, what I said earlier still applies. If any genius wants to join us, you're welcome. When the elders come back to life, they'll be happy to have new disciples and transmit their legacy to them. Since I already obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan's ancient holy scriptures, my friends and I would love to join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan but as guests of honor, not as official members, said Lin Feng with a smile, nodding at Ho Qing Lin. Ho Qing Lin and the others quickly came up next to Lin Feng. Where is the exit of the ancient palace? Empress Shi asked Yen Di calmly. The exit is where the entrance is. You can leave freely. Everybody saw that we are peaceful, we don't want to kill anyone. We just wanted to eliminate the weakest cultivators. Otherwise, with our deployment spells, nobody would have been able to make it this far, said Yen Di magnanimously. He didn't look scared at all. Lin Feng was stupefied, Yen Di was really skilled at acting. Empress Shi, the 9 Netherworld's emperor, and the others turned around and walked away. They had given up. Many other people frowned as they watched them walk away. Empress Shi took some people away. Others wanted to attack, but now they didn't know what to do anymore. Everybody can stay or leave as they wish, said Yen Di to the crowd. Those who had come into the palace later were disappointed. They hadn't had the occasion to study the statues because they were all broken already, and now there was no treasure to take. Yen Di was there, so he was naturally going to take everything. What should we do? Yuan Jing asked Ji Wuyo, who was fixedly staring at Lin Feng. He replied using telepathy, they obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. We can wait outside, even if we can't steal the scriptures from them in the vast celestial ancient city, we'll steal them at Champion University. Even if we only get a small part of the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, it would be great. Those scriptures can change a cultivator's life. Even ordinary people can become incredibly strong thanks to them. Ji Wuyo is right. Lin Feng obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, no difference for us. Let's go, Yuan Ho said to the others before they walked away, but in their eyes, you could see that they were furious. University students couldn't join the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Even though they had failed this time, they had still learned a lot in the vast celestial ancient city. Besides, they knew where to obtain the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. They left one after another. The lights in the Golden Palace gradually became dimmer. Lin Feng was curious, if Yan Di hadn't asked him to attack those people, what would have happened if they had broken the deployment spells? Would they have killed him? Now it wasn't easy to attack him anymore. The elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan were seated and seemed to be practicing cultivation, but nobody knew when they would wake up. Outsiders couldn't take the risk, and besides, there was another reason which prevented them from attacking: they didn't want to attack here, in the Golden Palace. Yan Di was the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. He knew the place and maybe he had other trump cards in here. Yan Di had looked indifferent and self-confident the whole time. Nobody really wanted to become a member of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. First, they didn't know what Yan Di really thought, and second, everyone there already belonged to a group. They had come to steal treasures. They weren't interested in helping the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan come back to life. Therefore, the people gradually left. Many who initially wanted to attack were terribly disappointed. After everybody else had left, Lin Feng took a deep breath. Yan Di scratched his head and said, "That was close, but I resolved the situation, nobody dared offend me." Lin Feng and his friends rolled their eyes. He had suddenly changed. Even though he was still wearing a golden robe and a golden helmet, he didn't look as majestic as a moment ago. "If they attacked you, what would you do?" asked Lin Feng. "What could I do?" "I'd run away," replied Yan Di, rolling his eyes. He rolled up his sleeves and a deployment talisman appeared before he hid it away again. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Even though this guy was there as the crown prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, his temper hadn't changed at all. "You're all friends with Lin Feng, right? You all look outstanding. I've seen Lin Feng grow up. Back then, in Yangzhou City, he was an ordinary little boy, and then someday we met and he started becoming really strong because I took him abroad and we traveled together. I taught him many things and he became extremely strong. You should also become my disciples and you will become very strong. I'll help you catch up with Lin Feng. I'll teach you how to transform things. You'll become peerless cultivators someday with me," Yan Di proclaimed to Ho Qing Lin and the others. Lin Feng was speechless when he heard Yan Di and said, "We helped you, how do you intend to pay us back?" "I'll give you the status of elder in the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, what do you think?" said Yan Di solemnly. "Piss off," said Lin Feng angrily. "That bastard. Why would they want to become an elder in the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan? They had other things to do, like making Tiantai come back to life. Forget about it, we can't leave the ancient palace for now. Let's practice cultivation for a while. Besides, I will transmit the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to them, too." "You don't mind, right?" said Lin Feng to Yan Di. The crowd frowned and looked at Lin Feng. He was going to transmit the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to them. How incredible. "If they become the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, I don't mind," said Yan Di. "We are already making Tiantai come back to life, we can't become members of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. We can be honorary elders, though. Tiantai and the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan can join hands and progress together." "I can promise you that," replied Lin Feng. Yan Di rolled his eyes and looked at all the strong cultivators of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. Since that's what Lin Feng wanted. Yan Di could understand how Lin Feng felt. Lin Feng was really talented. With the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, he was going to become even stronger. He would become much more powerful. Tiantai would become extremely powerful too. Chapter 1790, Leaving the Ancient Palace. When his friends heard Lin Feng say he was going to transmit the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to them, they were surprised. They didn't know what to think. Ho Qing Lin, Tian Qi, and the others were friends with Lin Feng, so they weren't surprised. They were the direct disciples of Tian Qi. They were close friends, as close as brothers. Therefore, they helped each other and it was normal. Tan Tai, Yun Qin Yan, Qin Lin and the others hadn't known Lin Feng for a long time, and yet Lin Feng was going to give them the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. It was strange and extremely generous. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures were precious ancient Holy Scriptures from the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan. They were legendary in the region. Even their own siblings wouldn't have been so kind to them, but since they had joined Tian Tai, they were like a big family. I joined Tian Tai because I didn't like Ji Chang's club. I wouldn't have thought that you were such a kind person, Lin Feng. I admire you, you are honest. Exactly as you said back then, Tian Tai is like a big family. From now on, you're like a brother to me, declared Qiu Ming, nodding at Lin Feng. For Lin Feng, Qiu Ming was almost a stranger, and yet he was going to give him the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. That was very generous. I saw you during the exam. You're a kind person. You dared confront Ji Chang's club, so you offended them and then you joined Tian Tai. We're all brothers, that's for sure. I am happy to give you the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. However, if anyone betrays Tian Tai, I'll kill them, replied Lin Feng. Tian Tai was very important in his life. I, am willing to die for my brothers and sisters in Tian Tai. If anyone betrays Tian Tai, I'll help kill them, said someone at that moment. Everybody looked at him. He was one of the last 3 people who had joined Tian Tai, e.g., he was the 4th on the ranking list. Ho Qin Lin had already fought against him and had won. He had joined Tian Tai and hoped that someday, he'd defeat Ho Qin Lin. However, in such a short time, he had realized that Tian Tai exceeded his expectations in terms of strength. E.G. was also very strong and since they were good to him, he wanted to help. I, Shimen Xiao, vow to dedicate my life to Tian Tai. I will die for Tian Tai. If anyone dares betray Tian Tai, I'll help kill them, promised Shimen Xiao. He was also in the top 10 of the ranking list. These days, all the students who were in the top 10 of the lowest list of Champion University were either in Tian Tai or in Ji Chang's club. However, since Leng Xia, Puyang, and the others had died, Ji Chang's club had lost some of their high-ranking students. Everybody smiled. They were becoming friends. Lin Feng smiled and said, "All right, brothers, sisters, I'll transmit the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to you now. And then we'll spend some time in the ancient palace. When the elders wake up, we'll leave. Yan Di, help me transmit the scriptures with your godly awareness. These people helped you." Lin Feng said to Yan Di. Yan Di looked agreeable and nodded. As long as those kids remember what I did for them, the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan will become an incredible clan again, and you'll be part of it. We'll solve the problem with the Moon Palace first, and then we'll see. Lin Feng looked at Yan Di. The Moon Palace was a powerful group, with incredible resources. They had 2 saint emperors of the previous generation, they were intensely focused, and more geniuses were rising there. They all studied powerful ancient scriptures. Of course, Yan Di was also powerful and had many great things, and he hadn't lost the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures and the Rebirth Scriptures. As long as he didn't encounter the 3 Lives Great Emperor or any other incredibly powerful Great Emperor, he was safe. Lin Feng and Yan Di transmitted the Celestial Evolution Holy Scripture to everybody. They all sat down and studied the Celestial Evolution Holy Scripture after receiving it. They could modify the 10,000 things of creation with them, and the scripture could make them more talented. In times past, the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan only transmitted it to the strongest cultivators of their clan, but then the Moon Palace destroyed them and many people had started studying them. Therefore, Lin Feng had decided to transmit them to his friends and Tian Tai would benefit from it. Yan Di rebuilt his ancient palace, carving deployment marks everywhere. That way, nobody would be able to come in and disturb them. Lin Feng was in the world of his spirit. Inside, he could practice cultivation in peace and forget everything else. The celestial evolution holy scriptures held extensive knowledge and profound scholarship. In the beginning, you could create one thing, and then two, and so on until all the 10,000 things of creation were open to you. There was no limit to those scriptures. All of a sudden, a cultivator could manage to create much more and they didn't feel any resistance when their powers increased. The celestial evolution holy scriptures were full of incredible techniques, skills, and spells. People could use them to create different things. Even an ordinary technique allowed a cultivator to create different things using different kinds of strength. In the end, they could create something that looked like a whole universe. A whole new world appeared before a cultivator's eyes when they mastered the skills and techniques of the celestial evolution holy scriptures. Lin Feng studied the celestial evolution holy scriptures and tried out various things. Lin Feng wasn't the only one to do that, his friends were all doing the same. They all realized that the celestial evolution holy scriptures weren't about studying skills and techniques per se, but more about guiding them. It was a new world which had appeared before their eyes and helped them become stronger. In the outside world, many people learned that the celestial evolution holy clan had reappeared, that the crown prince of the celestial evolution holy clan was there and that some elders of the celestial evolution holy clan had died, but their wills were studying the rebirth scriptures to come back to life. They wanted to renew the celestial evolution holy clan. The news spread quickly in the vast celestial ancient city, which wasn't all that far away. Therefore, even after half a year, some people were still waiting outside of the palace. People's cultivation level was restrained in this ancient palace of the celestial evolution holy clan, so it was risky to go in. Was it going to become the holy palace of the celestial evolution holy clan? At the top of an ancient mountain, Ji Wuyo and the others were still seated cross-legged. At that moment, Ji Wuyo opened his eyes, which glittered coldly. Half a year and surprisingly they haven't come out. We've wasted half a year. Half a year had passed and many people from Ji Chang's club and the U club had left. Only a few people from the Star group remained. They wanted to capture Lin Feng, but they hadn't thought that he would hide in there for such a long time. Ji Wuyo wasn't the only one. Many other people were waiting, including some great emperors. The door opened, said someone at that moment. The watchers all turned to stare at the ancient palace, where the door of one of the 9 paths had opened and lights were playing around. Holy marks shone and some people appeared. There were more than 20 of them. Lin Feng. Ji Wuyo's eyes gleamed, as he fixedly staring at Lin Feng. Many people around him stood up and watched the people on the ancient paths. Lin Feng was surrounded by Devamara Kulpa strength. The atmosphere changed, at this display. Many people were startled by the sight. The celestial evolution holy clan's people also came out. Many people noticed some others in golden clothes, people from the celestial evolution holy clan. Among them, there were many strong cultivators. When the crowd saw them, they were disappointed. With those strong cultivators around, it wouldn't be possible to kidnap Lin Feng and the others. Wuyo, what to do? Yuan Jing asked Ji Wuyo, pulling a long face. Those people are with the celestial evolution holy clan's people, attacking them is impossible. We need to wait until we have another opportunity, Ji Wuyo replied coldly. However, at that moment, a terrifying qi rolled out in waves. A group of people had appeared at the end of the ancient path. They looked at Lin Feng and said, Yen Di, hand Lin Feng over. Lin Feng looked at them and frowned. That was Tsang Ling, the leader of the Heaven clan. At that moment, Devamara Kulpa's strength swirled and turned into a tornado. The Heaven clan also had Devamara Kulpa's strength. Chapter 1791, Kulpa Strength. You surprisingly understand Devamara Kulpa strength. Tsang Ling was staring at Lin Feng icily. Lin Feng had been abandoned by the gods, how could he understand Devamara Kulpa strength? Cultivators had to be low-level emperors at least to be cleansed by the Devamara Kulpa strength. Had he managed to break free from the malediction? Had he become an emperor? It was impossible, his cultivation level was still at the Zun Qi layer. However, his Devamara Kalpa strength couldn't be fake, he was using it in front of them. What was going on? Had Lin Feng really managed to defeat the gods? The crowd was now fixedly staring at the Devamara Kalpa strength under Lin Feng. This guy had spent 6 months inside, and now he had come out using Devamara Kalpa strength. Boom! A powerful Kalpa strength descended from the sky and bombarded Lin Feng's body. However, the crowd saw that Lin Feng looked unaffected and was simply looking at the members of the Heaven clan. Devamara Kalpa strength kept assaulting his body, but he remained motionless. The crowd was shaken. What a powerful physical body. That Devamara Kalpa strength could oppress medium-level emperors. Cultivators had to use special spells to block such attacks, but Lin Feng didn't move, he just let it pummel him. Zhang Ling frowned furiously. Back then, he had chased Lin Feng, but he had only seen the Jade Emperor's palace. Lin Feng had taken Zhang Xiao away and killed him. Zhang Ling was still furious. The genius of your clan, Zhang Xiao, didn't dare let Devamara Kalpa strength bombard his body, right? Said Lin Feng, smiling at Zhang Ling. Zhang Xiao was dead and his words hit Zhang Ling's weakest point. You have been abandoned by the gods, you are a Zun cultivator, why do you understand Devamara Kalpa strength? Demanded Zhang Ling, who said you couldn't understand Devamara Kalpa strength if you weren't an emperor. Back then, at the Ice Moon Lake, I said it, even if the gods have abandoned me and rejected me, I don't care. I don't care about the gods and their stupid rules. Even if I never break through to the Huang Qi layer, I will always improve my cosmic energies and I will always study Devamara Kalpa strength. Lin Feng declared proudly. Devamara Kalpa strength kept descending from the sky and attacking him. Lin Feng looked so proud and seemed indestructible. His clothes had been torn apart, only his armor remained. His physical strength is incredible, he can easily resist low-level emperors, thought the crowd. The Devamara Kalpa strength was assaulting him, and the most stupefying thing was that he really had defied the gods. He was a Zun cultivator, but as he had said, even that way, he would continue improving his cosmic energies, and he would let the Devamara Kalpa strength cleanse his body. Was that the last batch of Devamara Kalpa strength? Whispered the watchers. However, at that moment, a powerful wind started blowing. The Devamara Kalpa strength condensed once again, the atmosphere became pitch black, the Kalpa strength became even more intense. Those watching were dumbstruck. How is that possible? More Devamara Kalpa strength? Thought the shaken crowd. Kalpa strength continued descending from the sky. Had he really been abandoned by the gods? The gods could be jealous. Zhang Ling released even more powerful energies. Had Lin Feng become that strong some time before, or had he learned about Kalpa strength in the ancient palace? When it seemed to be over, it was just starting. Actually, Zhang Ling was right, Lin Feng had understood this level of Kalpa strength in the last 6 months. How insane! Thought Ho Chin Lin and the others, staring at Lin Feng. What kind of skill had he studied? Surprisingly, he could use the Devamara Kalpa strength and it had cleansed his body. No wonder his physical strength was powerful. How strong was he? You will die here, stated Zhang Ling, staring fixedly at Lin Feng. That Devamara Kalpa strength was level 9, it condensed a second time, descending from the sky and bombarding Lin Feng's body again. Lin Feng was now surrounded by a web of Devamara Kalpa strength. The crowd around him moved back cautiously. Crackling and splitting sounds spread out in the air. Lin Feng raised his head as Kalpa strength kept descending from the sky. It was extremely pleasant for Lin Feng. He had the sensation that his body was going to explode with power. Pure strength was flowing through his body. Gotcha! Lin Feng clenched his fists, which emitted crackling sounds. Lin Feng sensed that his physical body was reaching a maximum level, the unceasing rain of Devamara Kalpa strength gave him that impression. One more step. The level 9 Devamara Kulpa strength continued descending from the sky. One more step. His physical body almost had the strength of a medium-level emperor. He had been cleansed by Devamara Kulpa strength 18 times. His physical body had changed again. If the skies get angry one more time, I'll have the physical strength of a medium-level emperor and I'll be able to kill low-level emperors by punching them. Thought Lin Feng. Suddenly, Tsang Ling condensed energies, a gigantic hand appeared and grabbed Lin Feng, who started suffocating. Even if you can make your cosmic energies improve and continue being cleansed by Kulpa strength, it won't change anything. You will die today. Tsang Ling said icily. If anything happens to him, you won't leave alive, someone else interjected. A powerful and oppressive energy swept forth. People raised their heads and saw 3 strong cultivators from the animal clan. Lin Feng looked at the people in the sky and then at Tsang Ling, smiling coldly. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had come back to life in the vast celestial ancient city. Lin Feng didn't intend to make the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan fight against other influential groups, after all, they had fallen a long time before. They weren't as strong as they were in the past, and Tsang Ling was a powerful cultivator. The strong cultivators of the animal clan were here, and that was a very good thing. Masters, Lin Feng killed so many people from the Heaven clan, do you think you can oppose the Heaven clan? Tsang Ling said to those 3 strong cultivators. He was very unhappy and annoyed. Those 3 people were very strong, he wanted to kill Lin Feng, but it was impossible now. Is Lin Feng so important for the animal clan? Tsang Ling didn't understand. If the animal clan hadn't come, he would have already killed Lin Feng. You came with so many people to threaten my son-in-law, do you think we'd let you? Asked Swan Ni the legendary beast, releasing bestial chi. He killed so many people from the Heaven clan, do you think we could let him live? Retorted Tsang Ling aggressively. Tsang Ling, I'd like to ask you, if Lin Feng had been weak, wouldn't they have killed Lin Feng? Said Qing Feng's father proudly. Tsang Ling frowned. If Tsang Xiao had been stronger than Lin Feng back then, of course he would have killed Lin Feng. When the old man of the animal clan saw Tsang Ling's facial expression, he grinned coldly and said, I don't know what happened exactly back then. Tsang Xiao wanted to kill Lin Feng, they fought and he died. But Tsang Xiao was weak and died, so what? That's logic. Now, you old men, came here to attack Lin Feng. If you touch him, you will die. When Tsang Ling heard the old man threaten him, he pulled a long face. The old man continued, piss off now. Are you waiting for me to attack or what? Alright, said Tsang Ling icily, we're done for today. I have some disciples in Champion University in the Holy City. They're practicing cultivation really hard. Tsang Ling rolled up his sleeves, his friends groaned in disappointment, and they all left. Even though the animal clan was strong, they wouldn't have killed Tsang Ling and the others without any reason. After all, they couldn't attack a holy clan impulsively. The other strong cultivators who wanted to attack Lin Feng left too. In the vast celestial ancient city, nobody wanted to offend the animal clan. Lin Feng, Qing Feng, come here, called out the old man, smiling at Lin Feng and the others. Lin Feng, Qing Feng, Wu, and Swan headed for the strong cultivators of the animal clan. Not bad, you've become quite strong. Let's go back to the animal clan, said the old man with a smile. Lin Feng nodded back at Ho Chin Lin and the others. They all rose up into the air and disappeared from the people's field of vision. Bastard! Ji Wuya watched Lin Feng and the others leave. He had wasted half a year waiting for Lin Feng. And Lin Feng was becoming stronger, Devamara Kulpa strength had cleansed his body. Lin Feng hadn't wasted any time at all, unlike them. Ji Wuyo had practiced cultivation too, of course, but he could have improved elsewhere. The stay in vast celestial ancient city hadn't been worth it. He had obtained nothing he wanted. He'll come back to the university at some point, Yuan Ho said coldly. Ji Wuyo nodded and they all left, heading back to the holy city. The other people waiting left too, because Yan Di went back into the ancient palace. They had nothing left to do there. Lin Feng and the others were the only ones who had obtained anything interesting, the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. That was the end of a phase, but people wouldn't forget about this. After all, the Crown Prince of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, Yan Di, had reappeared, and the elders of the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had come back to life thanks to the rebirth scriptures. 3 days later, something else happened in the vast celestial ancient city. The skies were infuriated, in the same place as before, in the wilds and the mountains. It looked apocalyptic from far away, but nobody knew what was going on. Some people said that it was restriction strength. Some other people also said that a strong cultivator was practicing a heaven-defying skill hidden in the vast celestial ancient city, but nobody knew the truth. Chapter 1792, Humiliating Ji Chang's Club. Many people from the Holy City had returned to the vast celestial ancient city, but they hadn't obtained anything. They had gone back to the Holy City only with the news that the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan had come back to life. The Crown Prince Yan Di was there, and he was returning the elders of the clan back to life thanks to the rebirth scriptures. They also heard that Lin Feng from Champion University was the only one who had obtained something. He was very lucky. He had even spent some time with the Crown Prince in the ancient palace and had obtained the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. Nobody knew who had said that initially, but now, everybody knew that everywhere. Even though many students from other universities were interested in the scriptures, they didn't take it to heart too much. The pavilion closest to the water enjoyed moonlight first. In other words, special advantages fell to people in a favorable position. Champion University students would be the first ones to see Lin Feng, so they would attack him first. Of course, Lin Feng first had to come back to the Holy City. Maybe Lin Feng was hiding. Otherwise, too many students would be after him. After all, the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures weren't ordinary ancient Holy Scriptures. At Champion University, there were many geniuses who knew ancient Holy Scriptures. They usually inherited them from their clans and were suitable for their cultivation. The Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures were different though. They could make ordinary cultivators stronger and more intelligent. If strong cultivators studied them, then they would become even more powerful. Of course, in the Holy City, Lin Feng wasn't the only one who had the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. Another person had them. Many people knew that, but Lin Feng wasn't known to be extremely strong, so getting them from him was easiest. So, in Champion University, many people were waiting for Lin Feng to come back, including the members of Ji Chang's club. But time passed and many people were disappointed. Was Lin Feng going to come back someday? Today Champion University had a lively atmosphere. At the entrance of Champion University, a group of people arrived. They glanced at the crowd aloofly. They all had an imposing appearance. Even though their cultivation levels weren't high, they looked like heroes. Lin Feng. At that moment, many people looked at the young man in white clothes icily. It was Lin Feng. He had dared to come back. Many people were waiting for him at Champion University. Yun Qin Yen, Lin Feng, those are Tiantai's people. Many people noticed them and left to spread the news. In the Star Group, Yuan Ho heard that Lin Feng had come back and he immediately called a meeting of people from the Star Group. They had to discuss how to deal with Lin Feng. In Champion University, there were rules. The last time, they had tried to kill Lin Feng outside, they couldn't kill fellow students within the university. They had to challenge people and all the parties had to agree to battle. A medium-level emperor couldn't possibly challenge Lin Feng to a battle to the death though, otherwise the reputation of Ji Chang's club would be tarnished. Lin Feng was at Tiantai's headquarters. The atmosphere was very lively, many people came over and gathered in the courtyard. Tiantai's people had finally come back from their journey. Bzzz. Someone risen up outside. The crowd was surprised. Was someone spying on them? What do you want? a member of Tiantai asked the strong cultivator. Tiantai's territory had become quite large, as only the core members of Tiantai had been to the vast celestial ancient city. Some people had also been traveling with Ho Qinglin to gather experience, and he had chosen 3 more people to become core members. I came to greet the people who have come back from the ancient city, replied the strong cultivator indifferently. I'm sorry. They are busy practicing cultivation. Come back another day, sorry for the inconvenience, the member of Tiantai replied with equal indifference. The people outside were surprised. Was Lin Feng hiding? That had to be an excuse. Lin Feng as well? Asked the strong cultivator. All of them, replied the member of Tiantai. That person groaned icily and left. He couldn't force the issue. The members of Ji Chang's club are here, said some people in the crowd. They had seen some people from Ji Chang's club in the distance. Those people arrived at full speed and looked angry. Ji Wuyo shouted icily, Lin Feng, get the hell out here. Lin Feng, get the hell out here, his voice echoed far away in the distance, and resonated for a long time. People sighed. Ji Chang's club was too aggressive and arrogant. Ji Chang's club protected him, his brother was Ji Chang, so he dared do anything. Also, he was from a rich family in the holy city, that was the main reason why he dared act like this. They are not available, they are practicing cultivation, said the member of Tiantai extremely loudly. However, Ji Wuyo just snarled icily and waved his hand. A cyan dragon appeared and roared, before it attacked Tiantai's buildings and blew them apart. Meditating in seclusion? Ridiculous, get the hell out here, shouted Ji Wuyo furiously, 10 seconds, if you don't get the hell out of here, I'll destroy all the buildings, I'm warning you. Bzzz. At that moment, many people rose up in the air, they were all external members of Tiantai. Even though they weren't core members, they were extraordinary too. They looked at the members of Ji Chang's club sharply. One of them looked at Ji Chang's club icily and said, Lin Feng and Ho Qinglin are meditating in seclusion. They told us that if you, the members of Ji Chang's club came and caused trouble, you could meet them in 10 days on the champion battle stage. Our core members challenge all the low-level emperors of Ji Chang's club to a battle, everyone. You can choose, on that day, it will be a battle to death or you can go home. The voice of the Tiantai's disciple was extremely loud and it echoed far away into the distance. Everybody frowned. The members of Ji Chang's club also looked angry. 10 days from now, a battle to death, Tiantai against Ji Chang's club. Yuan Ho looked petrified. In Ji Chang's club star group, among the low-level emperors, apart from Ji Yu and a few people, the others weren't that strong. On Tiantai's side, the low-level emperors were really strong, Lin Feng, Ho Qinglin, Tian Qi and many others. Even those who had joined later on were really strong. Among them were Shimen and Yi Ji, both at the top of the ranking list. In a battle, Ji Chang's club would be in great danger. What's wrong? Ji Chang's club is so strong, are you afraid to fight her? Asked Tiantai's spokesman icily. You don't dare battle but you come here and bark. You only dare come with people who have a high cultivation level to threaten new students. If Ji Chang's club doesn't dare fight, forget about it. And staying here is useless, said another one mockingly. Those people were arrogant and aggressive, especially Ji Yu, he had immediately destroyed some buildings. Now, Tiantai wanted to fight against them, and on top of that, a battle to death, so Tiantai's people were excited, they hoped Ji Chang's club would accept the battle. But would they dare? Nobody had thought that Tiantai would challenge them to such a battle. If Ji Chang's club refused, they would lose face, they were always so arrogant and aggressive. We'll fight, shouted Ji Wuyo furiously. They had no choice anymore and anyway, with his strength, he didn't fear them. Yuan Ho frowned and said icily, Ji Chang's club decides the rules. When the member of Tiantai heard Yuan Ho, he smiled indifferently and said, Lin Feng knew that you would say that. Before he started meditating in seclusion, he told us to ignore the members of Ji Chang's club. He said you are all extremely arrogant but that you were actually weaklings. He said that if you accepted our challenge, you'd want to determine the rules. Even though Tiantai is a new group, we have no problem letting you determine the rules. What do you want to do? Huh, indeed, Lin Feng said that. Yuan Ho, you really said exactly what Lin Feng had predicted. Ridiculous, you keep saying Ji Chang's club is the strongest club of the university, but Tiantai is a new group and you dare say you want to determine the rules. No problem, we don't mind. The members of Tiantai all laughed loudly. Yuan Ho looked furious. They were arrogant and proud, but kept being humiliated. Many people would have laughed if they had known that. Ji Wuyo was furious and his chi rolled out in waves all around him. A member of Tiantai glanced at Ji Wuyo and said, Brother Lin Feng said something else. Ji Wuyo, in 10 days, the first student of the ranking list will be different. I'm waiting, snarled Ji Wuyo in impotent fury. Chi whistled and dragon chants spread in the air, the atmosphere shook. In 10 days, Lin Feng would pay for this humiliation to him. Chapter 1793, Gathering around the battle stage. 10 days later, the battle between Tiantai and Ji Chang's club would take place. The news that it was supposed to be a battle to death spread quickly within Champion University. The battle attracted lots of people, including medium-level emperors. Many things were going on in Champion University. Ji Chang's club was declining. In Ji Chang's club, only Yuan Jing and Ji Wuyo could oppress other people, but back then even Yuan Jing had lost against Ho Qinglin. Therefore, they were probably going to try and choose rules which would help them win. When Ji Chang's clubs had gone to Tiantai, Tiantai's members had looked at them mockingly. They had allowed Ji Chang's club determine the rules. Tiantai was very self-confident. Yuan Ho kept being humiliated, and he didn't let them determine the rules, which meant that he knew he was at a disadvantage and could lose. Therefore, during those 10 days, Yuan Ho and the other cultivators of the Star Group started being proactive within Champion University. At that moment, Yuan Ho was in Jing Shou's courtyard. They were sitting and facing each other. I'm not interested in Ji Chang's club, said Jing Shou, after understanding why Yuan Ho had come to him. He narrowed his eyes and shook his head. His hands were still in his sleeves, as if he took them out only to kill people. I know that you're not interested, but I hope that you can temporarily join Ji Chang's club, and after the battle, you can leave the group. We won't bother you about it, said Yuan Ho in a calmly. Jing Shou was the second student, just above Lin Feng. If he agreed to help, then Tiantai would fall in the rankings and the Star Group would rise up again. But Jing Shou wasn't interested. He shook his head and said, Your Excellency, please find other people. Jing Shou, it's only a battle for you. Besides, Ji Chang's club promised you that we wouldn't bother you. You better think about it, Yuan Ho insisted to Jing Shou. Jing Shou smiled indifferently. The Star Group seemingly didn't learn anything from the lessons Tiantai taught them. Yuan Ho was threatening him. You better think about it. Help Ji Chang's club. Yuan Ho frowned, bit his lips. He was going to continue, but Jing Shou said, Your Excellency, please leave. Yuan Ho didn't need to stay. He looked angry, stood up, and rolled up his sleeves. Jing Shou wasn't the only strong cultivator in Champion University. After leaving Jing Shou's residence, Yuan Ho and the other members of the Star Group continued looking for other people. Many people couldn't wait to watch the battle because Tiantai kept humiliating the Star Group. If they lost, the Star Group would definitely lose their reputation, especially Yuan Ho, as the leader of the group. Yuan Jing was rushed now. Ji Wuyo and Yuan Jing were worried too. They were both in the celestial mountain of ancestor Zhu Tian, studying hard. Ji Wuyo could now take 5 more steps. At that moment, ancestor Zhu Tian slowly came out. When Yuan Jing saw ancestor Zhu Tian come out, she bowed and greeted him humbly, Ancestor. Yes, I've heard that Lin Feng challenged Ji Wuyo, said ancestor Zhu Tian to Yuan Jing. He remembered Lin Feng. That little boy, half a year before, during the ceremony, had shown that he had a strange body. Ancestor, Tiantai's people challenged us. Lin Feng is the strongest cultivator of Tiantai, he should fight against Wuyo, said Yuan Jing. Indeed, Ji Wuyo is really strong. He's one of the strongest low-level emperors of the university. He's arrogant and that's perfectly normal. I can't wait for you to win, said ancestor Zhu Tian before leaving. For him, such a battle was a small thing, and he wasn't really interested. If Ji Chang fought against another monstrously strong cultivator, then he would have been interested. Yuan Jing saw ancestor Zhu Tian off and then looked at Ji Wuyo. Ancestor Zhu Tian was right, Ji Wuyo was arrogant, but really strong. Lin Feng was also really strong, so he had to practice even more. He had to defeat Lin Feng. 10 days was nothing for Champion University students. Tiantai was rising, many people couldn't wait to see them fight. They had humiliated Ji Chang's club many times. Before, Ji Chang's club used to humiliate other people, not the opposite. Since Lin Feng and his two friends had joined the university, they kept humiliating them the club and then they had created a new club of their own. Their group was quite strong now. Lin Feng had told Ji Wuyo the first student would change soon. He was extremely arrogant. He dared compare himself with Ji Wuyo. The crowd was wondering whether Ji Wuyo kept thinking about the battle or not. The 10 days passed. Near the battle stage, there was an ocean of people. It was rare to see so many people there. After all, those people were all geniuses. They had things to do, they needed to practice cultivation, they traveled a lot. Ordinary battles were not interesting. However, this fight attracted many people. The members of Ji Chang's club are here. People were talking in the crowd and noticed that in the distance, a group of people arrived. The leader of the group was the leader of the star group, Yuan Ho. Ji Wuyo isn't here? Wondered the crowd. They were surprised. After all, Ji Wuyo was supposed to be a protagonist in this fight. That's Ren Xian, when did he join Ji Chang's club, thought the crowd. Near Yuan Ho, there was a cultivator called Ren Xian. He used to be the 5th student in the ranking list but because of Lin Feng and his friends, the ranking list had completely changed. Ren Xian was already behind in the list. He hadn't shown up the whole time, and now he was there with Ji Chang's club. Not just Ren Xian, there are many other students who are in the top 20 with Yuan Ho, thought the crowd, frowning at the sight. They started understanding what was going on. Because of the battle, Yuan Ho had disappeared for a while, he had been recruiting people. The people he had recruited had fallen in the rankings, would they rise back up this time? Everybody understood that after this battle, the top 20 of the ranking list would change completely. Ji Chang's club's group is powerful, but Tiantai is not weak either. Lin Feng, Ho Qinglin and Tian Qi are extremely strong. And some strong cultivators have joined Tiantai, too. There is also Wu, Qinglin, and Swan, they're extremely strong cultivators from the animal clan in vast celestial ancient city. Wu is a 3-legged golden crow, a supernatural bird. Ji Chang's club won't win easily, was the consensus of the crowd. The two groups were really strong. Tiantai was rising and among the low-level emperors, they had incredible cultivators. They're here. Tiantai's people are here, called out someone in the crowd. In the distance, there was a group of heroic-looking people. The crowd was very excited, great changes were going to happen in Champion University. Tiantai's people directly landed on bleachers next to the battle stage. Ji Chang's club's people were facing them across the stage. They looked at them icily. The crowd could sense the pressure. You dared come. Where is Ji Wuyo? Asked Lin Feng indifferently. The crowd frowned. Lin Feng sounded self-confident and arrogant, he didn't fear Ji Wuyo.
You really want to die, a voice rose, dragon chants spread in the air and Qi rose with them. Ji Wuyo and Yuan Jing arrived together and landed on the edge of the battle stage. Lin Feng smiled thinly when he sensed that Qi and said, "You look like a little buffoon. You think you look strong when you bark? When people are scared, they need to cheer themselves up," grinned Tiantai. Tiantai's cultivators burst into laughter. But they all knew that Lin Feng and Ji Wuyo's battle was going to be dangerous. After all, nobody had fought against Ji Wuyo after he became the first student of the ranking list. Their fight would be important. Chapter 1794, Ji Chang's club's rules. Lin Feng glanced at Ji Wuyo and then at Yuan Ho, saying indifferently, "Yuan Ho, what are the rules?" "Ji Chang's club can determine the rules. Everyone is here now, so go ahead." Yuan Ho's eyes twinkled as he said, "All right, the rules are very simple, one-on-ones, Ji Chang's club chooses one person, Tiantai chooses one person, if someone doesn't lose. They can battle several times. After winning, they can rest or continue battling. The battles end when Tiantai or Ji Chang's club's cultivators have all lost." Many people frowned. As expected, Yuan Ho had chosen rules which were good for Ji Chang's club. Those rules were for Ji Wuyo. If he won, he could continue fighting. The rules aren't so good for Tiantai. If nobody can defeat Ji Wuyo, then Ji Wuyo will win on his own, he can defeat them all. Thought many people. Lin Feng smiled, Yuan Ho was a good schemer. Besides, Ji Chang's club also had more people. "So do the cultivators jump onto the stage at the same time, or will you choose your fighters after having seen our fighter?" asked one of Tiantai's cultivators mockingly. Everybody looked at Yuan Ho for his answer. "It's a battle, it has to be fair. We can agree on terms, we choose first, and then during the second round, Tiantai will choose first," Yuan Ho answered calmly. "Battles to the death?" Lin Feng prompted coldly. That was the most important thing for Lin Feng. Yuan Ho had determined the rules. If they agreed on battles to death, then it would be very dangerous for Tiantai, unless Lin Feng kept fighting the whole time. Otherwise, if anyone else fought against Ji Wuyo, then they'd probably die. The fighters can discuss this together. If they agree, then why not? If someone doesn't want to, then no. Also, if someone leaves the battle stage, then it's a defeat, replied Yuan Ho calmly. Lin Feng didn't want Tiantai's members to die. Of course, Yuan Ho couldn't let his people die stupidly either. The fighters could discuss the terms. Lin Feng would probably agree with that. Lin Feng glanced at the members of Ji Chang's club. Of course, Lin Feng couldn't force Ji Chang's club to accept battles to death. At least the core disciples of Tiantai would have great battles. "I agree." Lin Feng nodded. "Since you agree, you can start, choose someone," said Yuan Ho. "How shameless," said Huang Fulong. The rules weren't good for him. The crowd could see that Ji Chang's club had the advantage with such rules. "I'm weak. I'll fight first," said Huang Fulong, jumping onto the stage. Yuan Ho looked at Huang Fulong and smiled coldly. How many members of Tiantai would lose their battles? Bzzz. Yuan Jing landed onto the stage and looked at Huang Fulong. She said coldly, "You dared come onto stage. You're humiliating yourself. Battle to death, what do you think?" "Don't," said Lin Feng to Huang Fulong using telepathy. He was so worried for Huang Fulong. Yuan Jing was very strong, Huang Fulong couldn't possibly win against her. "So much bullshit, let's fight," said Huang Fulong, his chi rose, dragon chants spread in the air. Dazzling lights invaded the atmosphere, he punched out in her direction, a dragon appeared and charged at her. Yuan Jing released a four-season sword, it contained the strength of the four seasons. Even though she hadn't mastered her attack that well, it was still powerful, and it should be enough to defeat Huang Fulong. Sword coupled with cosmic energies, cosmic meaning.
Lin Feng was surprised. Yuan Jing hadn't wasted time since the ceremony, she had become even stronger. Spring, summer, fall and winter energies were intertwining, the 4 seasons meaning surrounded the brutal dragon, the spring energies caused rain, the summer energies were scorching hot, the fall energies raised a whistling strong wind, and the winter energies froze the atmosphere. There was a big difference between Huang Fulong and Yuan Jing's strength. Yuan Jing was truly powerful. As expected, the 4 seasons sword surrounded the brutal dragon. Huang Fulong shouted furiously, looking like a brutal dragon. Yuan Jing's silhouette turned into an illusion and she reappeared above Huang Fulong's head. Her sword descended from the sky at full speed. The 10,000 things of creation looked pale next to that attack. "Get down off the battle stage," shouted Lin Feng telepathically. Even though Huang Fulong hadn't accepted a battle to death, Huang Fulong would get badly injured if the attack reached him. "Boundless Azure Dragon destroying heaven and earth," shouted Huang Fulong. He jumped, and as he did, a dragon appeared under his feet and rose up in the air. Roaring furiously, the dragon dashed to the skies and destroyed the sword energies. "How strong!" thought the amazed Lin Feng. He underestimated Huang Fulong. It was as if millions of azure dragons had appeared. "Good, Huang Fulong's boundless azure dragon is impressive. The azure dragons look like real ones." Tan Tai was pleasantly surprised. Sword energies plunged down from the sky. Huang Fulong kept moving backwards, fighting and retreating at the same time. Finally, he jumped off the battle stage, his clothes completely torn apart. Lin Feng was already quite satisfied though. That was Huang Fulong. He doesn't stand out, but he could resist Yuan Jing, not bad. Tian Tai has some strong cultivators, thought the crowd. Even though Huang Fulong had lost, he had proven he was strong. Yuan Jing was, after all, in the top 10. "Second battle, it's Ji Chang's club's turn to send a fighter," shouted Tan Tai to Yuan Ho. Yuan Ho looked at someone and that person landed on the battle stage. "It's a new member of Ji Chang's club," thought the crowd frowning. They understood what Yuan Ho had done. He had recruited some people to help. He wanted to defeat Tian Tai no matter what. Everybody understood what they were doing though. "I'm going," said Tan Tai jumping onto the stage and shouting furiously. In a flash, cracking and shattering were heard as he grew to gigantic size, looking like a powerful god. Dong! Tan Tai jumped, the battle stage shook violently, he looked like a powerful lion, majestic and mighty. He threw himself at his enemy. That person frowned and fixedly stared at the gigantic silhouette. With that powerful pressure, Tan Tai looked indestructible. Tan Tai roared furiously. A gigantic lion appeared at his back, terrible and ferocious. The lion immediately threw itself at his enemy's head. Powerful energies rose to the skies. Tan Tai appeared in front of his opponent and rained down blows. It was as if millions of roaring lions were attacking. That cultivator groaned and condensed a powerful strength. 100 fists appeared in the air, but the lions destroyed them all. Tan Tai came barreling down from the sky. Thunder boomed as that cultivator threw himself at Tan Tai like an arrow. Blood splashed everywhere and he was hurled off the stage. A member of Ji Chang's club caught him. Phew! Tan Tai swallowed and glanced at the crowd icily. Then, he said to Yuan Ho, "Are all the cultivators of Ji Chang's club pieces of trash? Even if you don't dare send your own fighters, at least don't send cannon fodder. How pathetic. The strongest group of Champion University? Ridiculous." Then, he turned around and jumped off the battle stage. If they sent another cannon fodder, he'd fight again. Ji Chang's club. The crowd laughed. Yuan Ho was ridiculous. He didn't care about Ji Chang's club's reputation anymore. Surprisingly, he dared do such things to fight against Tian Tai. I think you should act arrogantly only after winning, Yuan Ho said icily. He knew that what he was doing was bad for the reputation of Ji Chang's club. He had no choice, he really wanted to win. And he was sure that Ji Chang's club was going to win. Next one, shouted Yuan Ho loudly. He was furious, flames of fury were burning in his eyes. He had to destroy Tian Tai. The Star Group's reputation depended on the result of these battles. Ji Chang's club was under great pressure. However, he was convinced he could defeat all the members of Tian Tai. Chapter 1795, Evil Lin Feng, I'll fight this time, said Qin Wu icily, and he jumped onto the battle stage. Lin Feng looked at Qin Wu. He had spent half a year in the Celestial Evolution Holy Clan, and had studied the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. He didn't know how strong Qin Wu had become. Could he win? If Yuan Jing fought, she could definitely defeat Qin Wu. After all, initially, Qin Wu was the 28th student. After joining Tian Tai, Ho Qin Lin had taken some people abroad to gather experiences, and then they had studied the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. Maybe he was now in the top 20. Yuan Ho looked at Qin Wu icily. Back then, Ji Chang's club was in charge of the new students. He really hoped that people like Qin Wu, Qiu Ming, and the others would join Ji Chang's club, but then, Qiu Ming and Bai Qi had refused to listen to him. After the exams, Qin Wu had decided to spend time with Lin Feng and then had decided to join Tian Tai, not Ji Chang's club. Wuyo, said Yuan Ho icily. When the crowd heard him, they were stupefied. Ji Wuyo, Yuan Ho was surprisingly calling Ji Wuyo. Ji Wuyo jumped up, dragon chants rose and energies rolled in waves. The whole battle stage was surrounded by energy. The crowd's ears hurt. Qin Wu could sense the oppressive energies, he could barely breathe and his heart was pounding. Ji Wuyo was extremely strong, he was the first-ranked student. Boom! A cyan light dashed to the skies, a cyan dragon totem appeared, the crowd shivered. Ji Wuyo was impressive, he had to do all he could to win. Ji Wuyo was fixedly staring at Qin Wu. Qin Wu could sense his willpower shake. Ji Wuyo waved his hands and strength rolled, a dragon brandished its claws and charged at Qin Wu. At the same time, Ji Wuyo also threw himself at Qin Wu. Ji Wuyo knew that Qin Wu wouldn't accept a battle to the death, so instead of talking nonsense, he had attacked immediately. Even though he couldn't kill him, he could still injure him. Qin Wu raised his fists and light beams appeared. The air shook as two gigantic ancient cauldrons appeared. There were marks on them containing a powerful strength. Die! The claws crashed onto Qin Wu, he was bleeding severely but he continued attacking without flinching. The crowd was amazed, he was very brave. Surprisingly, he dared confront Ji Wuyo directly. Ji Wuyo shouted out, cyan dragons roared furiously and surrounded the cauldrons to attack them. The cauldrons shook violently and then crashed back onto Qin Wu's body. He was slammed backwards violently and crashed onto the ground away from the battle stage. Bzzz. A strong wind blew, Lin Feng jumped and grabbed Qin Wu. He coughed up blood, which splashed onto Lin Feng's robe. Lin Feng was furious. He released some life qi which flowed through Qin Wu's body. Lin Feng whispered, "Are you alright?" "I'm alright," sighed Qin Wu. He looked disappointed. He hadn't thought that the difference between him and Ji Wuyo was so large. He said to Lin Feng, using telepathy, "Lin Feng, you'll fight against him sooner or later. He's extremely strong, be careful." Qin Wu knew that the most crucial battle for Ji Chang's club and Tian Tai was the battle between Lin Feng and Ji Wuyo. Lin Feng nodded and then he looked at the battle stage, he looked at Ji Wuyo was also looking at him. Dragon chants spread in the air, by looking at each other, it was as if they had been fighting already. Next battle. Lin Feng looked away and then looked at Yuan Ho. Ji Wuyo went back to his group. Yuan Ho looked at someone behind him and that person landed on the battle stage. "I'll go and crush him," said Tan Tai, clenching his fists furiously. "Tan Tai," shouted Lin Feng in a low voice. Tan Tai hesitated and looked at Lin Feng. "I'll go this time," said Lin Feng. He moved like the wind and landed on the battle stage in an eye blink, staring at the other cultivator calmly. "Give up now, get off the stage." "You still have time," said Lin Feng calmly. He looked indifferent. However, one could sense his disdain. Even though he was cannon fodder for Ji Chang's club, he wasn't weak. He was in the ranking list, how could he accept being humiliated by Lin Feng like that? Yellow energies rose. That person walked slowly towards Lin Feng, each of his steps released some oppressive energies. Earth cosmic energy condensed into a mountain and surged towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng also walked towards him. Each time he made a step, marks appeared on the stage. The earth energy and the marks collided on the stage and intertwined. Lin Feng's marks turned into patterns. Lin Feng's opponent was not reassured. Lin Feng was extremely strong, but he had already agreed to fight so he couldn't flinch. That wasn't what strong cultivators did. "Celestial Mountain Imprint," shouted that cultivator furiously. He didn't do anything superfluous. A gigantic imprint dropped from the sky, the energies were as oppressive as a mountain. Lin Feng condensed Devamara Kulpa strength in his fist and punched out furiously. The mountain imprint broke apart. At the same time, Lin Feng ran forwards, a cage appearing and surrounding his opponent, who shouted in surprise. However, he was trapped and couldn't move. Lights appeared around him. "You dared come onto the stage with such a cultivation level," Lin Feng said calmly. His voice was sharp and pierced through his enemy's ears and heart, driving him insane. But the lights were becoming more and more intense and the man couldn't move anymore. The man shouted furiously again, waving his hands. An ancient imprint appeared again and moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng let the imprint hit him, it crashed into him and broke apart. Lin Feng then punched out in the direction of his opponent's head. If that punch reached his opponent's head, it might explode. However, Lin Feng's fist stopped in the air. He didn't punch his opponent, he just fixedly stared at him icily. The 9 netherworld source appeared in his eyes and a demon song resonated in his opponent's head. Cultivators are determined, they only think about cultivation. "You are so weak, you're not talented and you decided to help Ji Chang's club only because you hoped they'd give you gifts, or maybe because they threatened you. What are you doing on the battle stage? Shame on you," whispered Lin Feng, releasing cursing strength. That cultivator's heart was pounding madly. "You are so weak, how can you even call yourself a cultivator? People like you should give up. Even if you were lucky to become a student at Champion University, you'll always have to depend on other people, just like the members of Ji Chang's club. People will always despise you, you're like a little dog. No, a little mouse, or even worse, a small grasshopper." Lin Feng's cursing energies were carried by his voice and echoed in his opponent's brain. His opponent was going insane, a mouse, a dog, a grasshopper. He didn't deserve to be a cultivator. "Shut the hell up," shouted that person furiously. The air rumbled as Lin Feng suddenly threw a casual overhand punch at his opponent, who fell to his knees violently. Lin Feng lowered his head and put his foot on his opponent's face, staring at him. "The members of Ji Chang's club are looking at you, and I'm looking at you. You're on the battle stage, don't you feel pathetic?" said Lin Feng mockingly. That person put his hands on his face, he had the impression his head was going to explode, he was going insane. "Piss off now and think about what just happened," said Lin Feng disdainfully. The cultivator got up shakily and walked away before stopping and shouting, "No." He suddenly rose up into the air and shouted furiously, he was going insane. How cruel, thought the crowd, especially the members of Ji Chang's club. How cruel, indeed. Lin Feng had put his foot on that guy's face and told him he wasn't worth calling a cultivator. He was merciless. Ji Chang's club's members were staring at Lin Feng. They hadn't thought that Lin Feng could be so cruel. Even Tiantai's members were surprised and sighed as they looked at Lin Feng's back. That guy was their friend, he was like a brother to them, it was strange to see him so cruel. He looked like a demon. Lin Feng glanced at the members of Ji Chang's club icily. People who helped Ji Chang's club were his enemies. Nobody could blame him for being cruel. I know that many of you weren't members of Ji Chang's club before. I could participate in any of the following battles. If you are smart, you'll just leave. Otherwise, I'll show you what you're worth to me, as well, Lin Feng said aggressively. Did they all want to be treated like the guy Lin Feng had just humiliated? Chapter 1796, Sentient Beings Buddhist Enlightenment. Everybody looked at Yuan Ho. He was furious. He had not expected that. Maybe Lin Feng would fight the next one, too. Your turn, hissed Yuan Ho, frowning. He looked like an evil snake. Lin Feng looked at Wu. Wu had broken through to the Huang Qi layer at the same time as him. He was a supernatural bird who had always wanted to surpass him, and was very strong. Ji Wuyo had the Cyan Dragon Totem, Wu was actually a good opponent for Ji Wuyo. Lin Feng didn't necessarily want his fellows to win, he wanted them to prove how strong Tiantai was. Ji Wuyo was the first student. He had been the first student for a very long time. When Lin Feng had just joined the university, Ji Wuyo was already the first student. Even if Tiantai's members lost against him, that wasn't a problem, they had nothing to be ashamed of. Wu, go and fight, ordered Lin Feng. Wu looked at Lin Feng sharply, somewhat angrily. Why did Lin Feng make him go up and fight? Nevertheless, Wu jumped up and landed on the battle stage. He glared at the members of Ji Chang's club. Who wants to fight? Shouted Wu furiously. His voice echoed far into the distance. Ji Wuyo jumped up and landed on the battle stage releasing Qi, the crowd also heard dragon chants. Ji Chang's club has no other cultivator. You either send scapegoats or Ji Wuyo, said someone from Tiantai mockingly. Everybody burst out into laughter. The crowd already understood that Ji Chang's club couldn't compete with Tiantai at all. Dragon chants spread in the air, the supernatural bird whistled. The battle stage shook violently. Bestial Qi invaded the whole atmosphere. A Cyan Dragon Totem appeared, Wu turned into a sun supernatural bird, and clashed against Ji Wuyo. Their collisions were insane. Wu looked obstinate and unruly. His sharp energies dashed to the skies. Powerful sun cosmic energies shot everywhere, the battle stage started burning. It was an incredible sight. Piss off, shouted Ji Wuyo furiously. He punched Wu's wing furiously. Wu moved backwards a few centimeters and then suddenly rose up in the air. He never gave up. That's enough, said Lin Feng to Wu. Wu was extremely fast and had an incredible physical form, but still he couldn't compete with Ji Wuyo. He was already badly injured. He couldn't get punched again, so that was enough. Wu looked at Lin Feng in a sharply and whistled, then flew away from the battle stage. Even though Ji Wuyo had won that battle, he wasn't happy. He was furious as he went back to his friends. Lin Feng was still humiliating them. Wu is a supernatural bird, a genius from the animal clan of the vast celestial ancient city. Even though he's obstinate and unruly, he still obeys Lin Feng. Tiantai's strength is unfathomable and enigmatic. In 10 years, Tiantai will become another Ji Chang's club. Thought the crowd. Another group was rising. After that, Ji Chang's club had to choose another fighter. Lin Feng glanced at the members of Ji Chang's club icily. They all noticed that Lin Feng was looking at them and shivered. If Lin Feng fought against them like he had fought against the other guy, then they'd be profoundly humiliated. They didn't know how strong Lin Feng really was. What could they do if they had to face Lin Feng? Therefore, the members of Ji Chang's club remained silent. Yuan Ho glanced at everyone, he didn't know who to choose. Yuan Ho, you are lucky that the Star Group is one of the 3 groups of Ji Chang's club, you accepted the fight against Tian Tai. You offended them. Now, make members of Ji Chang's club fight against Tian Tai. Even if you lose, it doesn't matter anymore. You already lost face anyway, someone spoke up at that moment. It wasn't a member of Tian Tai, though. The crowd looked over, someone in a fur robe was talking, his hands in his sleeves, Jing Shou. Yuan Ho looked at Jing Shou icily. Jing Shou had refused to join Ji Chang's club, and now he was making fun of them. I'll fight, said Yuan Jing. She couldn't stand being looked at mocking by everyone anymore. She jumped onto the stage. Princess, protested the surprised Yuan Ho. He was unhappy. He glanced nervously at Lin Feng. Yuan Jing couldn't compete with Lin Feng. Ji Wuyo groaned quietly. Lin Feng just laughed. I am not a coward like you members of Ji Chang's club. I'll show you how Tian Tai deals with people like you. Brother, go and fight. When Yuan Jing jumped onto the battle stage, Lin Feng sent Tian Chi back then, he had lost against her because she had used a secret skill. Now, more than a year had passed, he could take his revenge. Back then, you lost against me. Today, you will lose again. Yuan Jing proclaimed confidently. How could she lose against someone she had defeated before? Tian Chi had no hope in her opinion. A mountain is a mountain, water is water, replied Tian Chi putting his palms together. Holy lights shone as an ancient Buddha appeared behind him. The holy lights illuminated the earth and the sky. A mountain was still a mountain, Tian Chi was still Tian Chi, meaningless words. You're ignorant and ridiculous. The 4-seasons sword will destroy your mountains and rivers, shouted back Yuan Jing. A 4-seasons sword lanced at Tian Chi. The energies were dazzling. 4 kinds of sword meaning descended from the sky at the same time and suppressed the holy lights. Tian Chi closed his eyes and an infinity of holy lights illuminated the atmosphere. Buddha shadows appeared everywhere. Die, shouted Yuan Jing furiously. Sword lights dazzled and pierced through the Buddha shadows. Only one of Tian Chi's Buddha shadows broke apart, however. Yuan Jing continued, looking even more furious. Suddenly, the Buddha shadows were surrounding her in a dazzling formation. A mountain is a mountain, water is water. Lin Feng frowned and fixedly staring at Tian Chi. He looked like a Buddha illusion now. It was impossible to know which shadow was Tian Chi. Our brother is achieving enlightenment, said Ho Chin Lin to Lin Feng. He smiled in a resplendent way. He knew that Tian Chi wasn't the Tian Chi they knew in the past anymore. Brother, what's going on? Asked Lin Feng. Lin Feng, Tian Chi is a Buddhist cultivator. He chants mantras to achieve enlightenment. Back then, he accidentally obtained a Buddha skill, a mysterious one, called the Sentient Being's Buddhist Enlightenment. It's different from other skills, it's very complicated, but if you understand it, you can become monstrously strong. The celestial evolution holy scriptures allowed him to become much stronger and to understand the Sentient Being's Buddhist enlightenment. Ho Chin Lin replied to Lin Feng using telepathy as he smiled, he's definitely going to win this battle. On the battle stage, the Sentient Being's Buddhist enlightenment surrounded Yuan Jing while Tian Chi chanted mantras, his voice blocking the 4-seasons sword. Yuan Jing finally released her secret strength, which bombarded the Buddha shadows. They kept breaking apart one after another, but it only made the other Buddha shadows angry. An enlightenment mantra spread out in the sky and Yuan Jing's soul started shaking. Buddha imprints descended from the heavens and crashed down onto her. She fell down to her knees. Yuan Jing raised her head and looked at Tian Chi icily. The Buddha shadows had surrounded her, and her face had turned deathly pale. Surprisingly, she had lost against someone she had defeated in the past. Everybody was staring at her. She felt humiliated, and her cheeks burned. It was unbearable. People looked at Tian Qi. They knew Yuan Jing was strong, but Tian Qi was stronger. The mysterious Buddhist monk was incredibly strong. He had become much stronger than before. People were amazed. You lost. They couldn't see who had said it. Yuan Jing started releasing sword energies, but Yuan Ho shouted, "Princess." Yuan Jing was stupefied, her beautiful eyes lost their glitter. She had lost. Her silhouette flickered as she left the battle stage. She had lost, Tiantai had won. Yuan Jing had lost. On Ji Chang's club's side, apart from Ji Wuyo, nobody could win. Ho Qinglin, Shimen Xiao, and the others could all win unless Ji Wuyo fought every time. Bzzz. A strong wind started blowing. Ji Wuyo landed on the battle stage again. He had his cyan dragon totem behind him. He looked proud, glaring at the members of Tiantai arrogantly, and said aggressively, "You, come, all of you." How aggressive. The crowd was delighted. Ji Wuyo wanted to show everyone how strong he was. He wanted to fight against every member of Tiantai. Chapter 1797. Several opponents to tire him out. Lin Feng looked at Ji Wuyo, he looked so proud and arrogant. Lin Feng smiled indifferently and mockingly. He wanted to fight against Tiantai alone. Since the first student Ji Wuyo wants to display his strength, it would be impolite to decline. "Brothers, let's all fight against the first student of the university," said Lin Feng calmly. Tiantai's members looked at him oddly. They were going to fight against him, one after another. "Brothers, I'll determine the order, don't stop." "Tiantai, you start," said Lin Feng, smiling indifferently. He used telepathy to communicate with Tiantai's members at that moment. "Today, we don't need to defeat Ji Wuyo, we just need to show Champion University how strong we are. Therefore, let's fight one after the other, no need to be polite. Fight as hard as you can." "Alright," nodded Tiantai, nodding before he jumped onto the battle stage. Lin Feng's voice was still resonating in his brain. "Use your full strength, no need to be polite." "Alright." Tiantai smiled. He released his lion spirit, and at the same time, he released all his strength, which exploded into the air. His energies rose to the skies. "You want to die," shouted Ji Wuyo. His cyan dragon totem rose up in the air. More dragons emerged from his fists. He was powerful and dangerous. Roar! A gigantic tower crushed down from the sky. Tiantai's lions roared furiously and blotted out the sun and the sky. Ji Wuyo was surprised. Tiantai dared go for a collision. The dragons which emerged out of his arms roared furiously, colliding with the lions and destroying them. Tiantai punched out with his fists. 1,000,000 lions appeared in the sky. Ji Wuyo's eyes twinkled with cold lights. He rose up in the air, cyan rays shrouding everything. He waved his arms and more dragons appeared, they seemed like they could rend the heavens and earth. The dragons chanted and made the air shake. Powerful explosive energies surged out. The crowd thought that Tiantai was insane. He was attacking with an indomitable will, and didn't even flinch. Dong! Tiantai was pounded by Ji Wuyo's attacks. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled and he said, "Next battle, Swan, go." Bzzz. Swan understood, he immediately jumped onto the stage. Tiantai retreated instantly. The members of Ji Chang's club were furious and said to Yuan Ho, "The battle isn't over." "Isn't it over now?" asked Lin Feng calmly. Tiantai had jumped off the battle stage. "Since Ji Wuyo wants to fight against everyone, we accept." "Wait and you'll see," said Yuan Ho icily. At that moment, Swan turned into a gigantic legendary beast. Just like Tiantai, he immediately attacked Ji Wuyo. The earth and the sky shook violently. However, even though Swan's physical body was extremely powerful, he still couldn't compete with Ji Wuyo. After a few clashes he had clearly lost. E.g., Shi Men, Xiao Ming, get ready to fight, said Lin Feng calmly. E.g. jumped onto the stage. He didn't give Ji Wuyo any time to breathe. He immediately started battling against him like a madman. Ji Wuyo could only release his energies again. However, Ji Wuyo was very strong. Even after having fought against two people, his qi was still very powerful. His blood was boiling, his dragons kept chanting, and his cyan dragon totem was dazzling. Thus, the third, fourth and fifth battles passed by. Even though E.g., Shi Men, and Xiao Ming were extremely strong, they couldn't compete with Ji Wuyo, and in the end they were defeated. However, the battles were getting longer for Ji Wuyo. After so many battles against so many strong cultivators, it was getting difficult, he was getting tired. Qin Feng, the sixth one is yours, go and practice on him, said Lin Feng, nodding at Qin Feng. Qin Feng moved in a blur, and suddenly, 8 sorts of cosmic energies appeared, astonishing the crowd. Qin Feng is a genius from the animal clan in the vast celestial ancient city. She's almost always with Lin Feng, and she controls 8 sorts of cosmic energies, thought the crowd in amazement. Lin Feng was stupefied too. Qin Feng could control 8 sorts of cosmic energies now. Her cosmic energies exploded in the air and crackled through the sky. Qin Feng was powerful. Qin Feng's evolution power is fearsome. As expected, her cosmic energies are evolved versions. They're even more powerful than normal ones, thought Lin Feng. The crowd gulped as they watched. Lin Feng was making Tiantai's people practice against Ji Wuyo. All of them were extremely strong, none of them were weak. The crowd wondered how the ranking list had changed. Brother, you're next. Lin Feng smiled at Tianqi. Ji Wuyo wanted to prove how strong he was, no problem. They were happy to take advantage of it. Tianqi looked at Lin Feng and smiled deeply. After a short time, Qin Feng lost, but she had amazed everybody. Tianqi jumped onto the battle stage, using his sentient being's Buddhist enlightenment again, and chanted mantras in a clear, melodious, pure, deep, and far-reaching Brahma voice. Palm strikes kept raining down on Ji Wuyo, mantras pierced through his eardrums. His facial expression changed drastically, under the assault, truly furious now. Ji Wuyo is getting angry. He can't control himself anymore, said the people watching Tianqi and Ji Wuyo's battle. Tianqi had become extremely strong. Even though his Buddha shadows were being destroyed one after another, his Buddha hands still crashed onto Ji Wuyo's body. In the end, Ji Wuyo defeated Tianqi. However, Ho Qin Lin immediately jumped onto the stage, releasing reincarnation energies which surrounded Ji Wuyo's body, and Ji Wuyo felt the danger. His cyan dragon totem didn't look as dazzling, his qi had become weak. He wasn't standing as steadily as before, and Ho Qin Lin was using his Ahsoka reincarnation strength. The cyan dragons roared, they attacked the reincarnation energies, but Ho Qin Lin's reincarnation sword energies were still there. Through it all, Ho Qin Lin looked calm and serene. Suddenly, dazzling lights appeared and Ho Qin Lin turned into a million light beams, like Tianqi's sentient being's Buddhist enlightenment attack. Evolution. Lin Feng and the others who had studied the celestial evolution holy scriptures were astonished. Ho Qin Lin had surprisingly already mastered a rudimentary version of the sentient being's Buddhist enlightenment. He could turn into Buddha shadows. Millions of Ahsoka reincarnation sword lights appeared. Ji Wuyo was staring at them and grimaced. Stop, shouted Yuan Ho furiously. The lights instantly disappeared. Ho Qin Lin was standing in the air, looking at Yuan Ho as he recalled his energies. Your people are taking turns in fighting Ji Wuyo to tire him out, is that a fair way of battling? Demanded Yuan Ho icily. Ridiculous, said Lin Feng mockingly, he's the first student and he said he wanted to fight against everyone. Now that he can't fight anymore, you think that shouting is enough to stop the duels? He's weak and lost, and now you got involved, how ridiculous, taunted Tantai. The crowd studied the strong cultivators from Tiantai, especially the core members. They were all incredibly strong. "Brother, come back," said Lin Feng, smiling indifferently. Ho Qinglin went back to his friends and left Ji Wuyo alone. Ji Wuyo could only stare at them. At that moment, Lin Feng jumped up and landed on the battle stage. The crowd was stunned. Lin Feng wanted to fight now. Ji Wuyo couldn't win in such circumstances. Lin Feng rose up in the air and looked at Ji Wuyo from above. He said indifferently, "Go back and have a rest. I don't want to bully a weakling." "Just wait here for a short while," retorted Ji Wuyo icily. He really needed to rest for a short while. That way, he'd be sure to win. Many members of Ji Chang's club haven't fought yet, won't they fight? Go down and let them fight. I'll fight against all of them, even if you use the same tactic as I did, one after another without any pause, even all together at the same time, I don't mind. We don't talk shit in Tiantai. Of course, nobody will shout to stop the battles either, said Lin Feng indifferently, mockingly glancing at Yuan Ho. Lin Feng could do what Ji Wuyo hadn't managed to do. He could defeat all the members of Ji Chang's club without any pause, even all at one time. Ji Wuyo clenched his fists. Crackling sound spread in the air. He had said that he could defeat all the members of Tiantai and in the end, he had failed. Tiantai even accepted letting Ji Wuyo rest, and now Lin Feng wanted to fight against everyone at the same time. What a humiliation again. Everybody was staring at Ji Wuyo, they thought Lin Feng was stronger. Alright, agreed Yuan Ho icily. Ji Wuyo, come down. If you're lucky and win, I'll let you rest, said Ji Wuyo icily. Before jumping off the battle stage, Yuan Ho looked at the members of Ji Chang's club and started talking to them using telepathy. He wanted to use the same tactic Lin Feng had used against Ji Wuyo. Suddenly, someone jumped onto the battle stage and quickly threw themselves at Lin Feng, using wind cosmic energies. Lin Feng created an armor using two sorts of cosmic energies. Rumbling sound spread in the air and his opponent attacked him. The armor broke, but when his enemy's fist struck Lin Feng's body, it was worse than punching armor, an atrocious pain invaded his hand. He raised his head and looked at Lin Feng was smiling. Boom! Lin Feng then kicked him violently and smashed him high into the sky. Lin Feng's physical strength was powerful. I'm sick of pieces of trash. Come, all together, it'll be faster that way, said Lin Feng indifferently. Nobody moved, they were too weak. Lin Feng could attack them as he wished. Those people were Champion University's geniuses. In front of Lin Feng, they were just like trash. Chapter 1798, definitely winning. Lin Feng looked proud and arrogant. The members of Ji Chang's club all had long faces. The first cultivator they had sent up hadn't managed to do anything to Lin Feng. Exactly how strong was he? Pieces of trash. Lin Feng kept humiliating the members of Ji Chang's club and calling them trash. He kept cutting them down with his words. A moment before, Ji Wuyo had said that he wanted to fight against all the members of Tiantai, and now Lin Feng was fighting against all the members of Ji Chang's club in the same circumstances. When Ji Wuyo said he wanted to fight against everyone, you didn't mind, so since you want to fight against everyone, why not, said Yuan Ho calmly. Then, he looked at his group. Instantly, they all rose up into the air. The crowd was stupefied. Ji Chang's club was insane, maybe that Lin Feng had just said that without paying attention. Did he really want to fight against everybody at the same time? Okay, 5 people first. We'll see how strong you are, said Yuan Ho indifferently. He nodded at 5 of them. Lin Feng was strong. Back then, he had sent so many people, Leng Xia and the others, to fight against Lin Feng, and none of them had come back. So first, he could try and see how strong Lin Feng really was facing 5 opponents. Go about things steadily and surely, no need to rush. When you see you have an opportunity, go ahead and strike, advised Yuan Ho telepathically. An infinity of qi rose to the skies and moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked at the cultivators and rose up. Light's rays burst out and moved in all directions. Deployment. The crowd looked at the lights, astonished. Holy marks, Lin Feng controlled deployment spells. He used deployment spells to fight against the group. In the air, 2 ancient cauldrons appeared, the 9 cauldrons qi attack. 2 people had studied that attack, pressuring Lin Feng. However, at that moment, dragons chanted, and behind Lin Feng, a dragon totem appeared. It wasn't a cyan dragon though, it was a pitch black, it looked ferocious and bloodthirsty. A demon dragon. It was powerful, as if it had come from hell. Demon dragon totem. The crowd was stupefied. It wasn't Ji Wuyo's cyan dragon totem. It looked the same, but it was a demon dragon totem. Lin Feng punched out with both fists, energies gathered and crashed against the cauldrons, shattering them instantly. Then, Lin Feng jumped high up in the air, his blows moved towards 2 of the people, 2 dragons appearing instead of his fists. The 2 cultivators' expressions changed drastically as they released qi to destroy the dragons. Purple Lake Battle Tank. Lin Feng waved his right hand 10 times, purple tanks rained down one after another. Explosions covered everything. A tank smashed down onto one of the cultivators, blood splashed and the cultivator was hurled away. The Purple Lake tank skill seems alive in his hands and contains a powerful strength. Thought the crowd, dumbstruck when they saw the cultivator getting pounded by Lin Feng's attack. The demon dragon totem was the same attack as Ji Wuyo's, it was amazing. Lin Feng couldn't have Ji Wuyo's skill, so the crowd thought of one possibility, the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures. Evolution attacks were powerful. If Lin Feng had only used the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, his dragon totem attack would have been rudimentary. But Lin Feng had dragon blood, and even had a baby dragon and a demon dragon in his blood. His blood was filled with dragon energies, and coupled with the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, his dragon totem was even more powerful. His dragons looked real. Ji Wuyo was fixedly staring at Lin Feng and pulling a long face. That was his attack and Lin Feng was using it to fight against the other members of Ji Chang's club. What a humiliation, once again. The other 4 cultivators attacked Lin Feng at the same time. Lin Feng smiled, and a dazzling sun sword appeared in the sky. Brilliant lights blinded the 4. That sword looked incredible, as if it could cut the skies. The cultivators retreated quickly. Lin Feng surrounded his body with wind energy. He suddenly appeared in front of one of the opponents, he didn't use any special attack, he just punched out in his direction. However, the sheer force of his fist shook the air. A powerful qi rolled out and smashed into the man. Blood splashed everywhere and the enemy was hurled away. Lin Feng had been cleansed by Devamara Kulpa strength twice in vast celestial ancient city. His physical strength had become even more incredible. He now had the physical strength of a medium-level emperor. When Lin Feng used a simple punch, his attacks were more powerful and explosive than medium-level emperor's cosmic energies. Lin Feng attacked 2 more cultivators, never stopping. Sword energies streaked across the skies, wind whistled and made the earth and sky shake. He also released immortal energies, which were carried by the wind and sword energies. He attacked the 3 other cultivators at the same time, and they were driven back. Chaotic Sky Punch. Lin Feng condensed more wind cosmic energy, and at the same time used his Chaotic Sky Punch. Thunder rumbled, and the earth and the sky kept shaking violently. Immortal energies were carried by the wind. He pounded another cultivator who was hurled back. Blood kept dripping from the sky. "Fight together," shouted Yuan Ho at that moment. A dozen cultivators released chi and bombarded Lin Feng. He jumped away, lights moved in every direction. A deployment spell pattern appeared. "Come, all of you," said Lin Feng to the Ji Chang Club cultivators with a cold smile. "Stop," said someone at that moment. The cultivators stopped and gazed into the distance. It was Ji Wuyo. "Yuan Ho, you're shameless, but Ji Chang's club isn't," said Ji Wuyo icily. He looked furious. Many people were stupefied and looked at him strangely. Ji Wuyo couldn't stand it anymore. Even though Lin Feng didn't mind fighting against everyone, the fact that Yuan Ho had ordered everyone to suddenly fight at the same time. No matter how strong Lin Feng was, he was a new student, and they were members of the Star Group, a subgroup of Ji Chang's club. The members of Ji Chang's club were all fighting against Lin Feng at the same time mercilessly, and on the champion battle stage no less. That was a horrible humiliation. Everyone was going to say that no member of Ji Chang's club could compete with Lin Feng. It was no wonder that Ji Wuyo was furious. Yuan Ho was stupefied. He knew that he was shameless. But if they didn't fight together, they could only watch Lin Feng crush them one after another. That was even more humiliating. Tiantai's people had fought against Ji Wuyo one after another without giving him any second to take a breather. But he was the first student, everybody considered him a genius, and all the members of Tiantai had jumped off the battle stage when they lost. None of them had been humiliated. No matter what, Tiantai was going to rise from this day forward. Yuan Ho remained silent. He had nothing to say. "Lin Feng, get ready to lose one battle at least," proclaimed Ji Wuyo, releasing boiling waves of qi. His qi surrounded the battle stage, a dazzling cyan dragon totem appeared, and bestial qi descended on everything. Lin Feng waved and removed his deployment spell. He slowly rose up in the air and said coldly, "As you wish. The most important battle is this one today." "Nobody will remember the loser," said Ji Wuyo. He was sure he was going to win. Ji Chang's club had been humiliated too many times, but this battle was going to determine the future of their respective groups. If Ji Wuyo didn't lose, then the Star Group would never lose its reputation. "I told Yuan Ho to tell you that today, the first student of the low-ranking list was going to change," said Lin Feng indifferently. Then, he shook his hands and a gigantic word appeared in the sky. Incredibly, the word said, "Contract." A contract for a battle to the death. Lin Feng was challenging Ji Wuyo to a death battle. They both looked arrogant, proud, and self-confident. They were both sure they were going to win the battle, and therefore, Ji Wuyo couldn't refuse. He waved his hand, the two contracts collided and fused together. This was now a battle to the death. "Lin Feng is insane," thought the crowd. Ji Wuyo was Ji Chang's brother, a descendant of the Ji clan. Even if Lin Feng won, even if he was an incredible cultivator from the animal clan, he wouldn't get away with it. They were in the holy city. In any case, even if Lin Feng could win, could he kill Ji Wuyo? Even if they had agreed on a battle to the death, if Ji Wuyo got killed by Lin Feng, what would be the consequences? And the members of the Moon Group and the Sun Group hadn't shown up. If they showed up, they'd deal with Lin Feng, and what would happen? If Lin Feng went to town, the members of the Ji clan would also deal with him. In case of a normal battle, whether Ji Wuyo lost or won, it didn't matter, the elders of the Ji clan wouldn't care, but if Lin Feng killed Ji Wuyo, then it would be different. Chapter 1799, Draw. No matter what, a battle to death wasn't good for Lin Feng. However, he didn't hesitate and immediately challenged Ji Wuyo to one. Only one reason could explain why he did that: self-confidence. Lin Feng was extremely self-confident. He couldn't lose this battle. Thinking about it, the crowd watched Lin Feng. Lin Feng had proven that he was very strong and had quickly appeared on the ranking list. Tiantai was also rising. In less than 10 years, Tiantai would be extremely powerful in Champion University. They would possibly have medium-level emperors and high-level emperors. They weren't extremely strong yet, only in the lower ranking list. The two fighters' chi covered the battle stage. A strong wind started blowing, containing a powerful chi. In the distance, some other people appeared. They were wearing monochromatic robes with moon patterns on them. They all looked fierce and strong. Even though they weren't releasing any chi, one could see that they were very strong. Moon Group's people. The crowd frowned. People from Ji Chang's club's Moon Group were here now. Those people landed next to the battle stage, but said nothing. Many people sensed an oppressive energy, especially the people from Tiantai. Even though they were also low-level emperors, the Moon Group's people looked extremely strong. Ji Chang's club Sun Group was extremely powerful, and the Moon Group's people were also heroic. Many of them were in the middle ranking list. The weakest people of the club were the Star Group's members. They had low-level emperors. Back then, they had many people in the lower ranking list, but now Tiantai was rising and suppressing the Star Group. However, Tiantai couldn't compete with the Moon Group. Many of the cultivators of the Moon Group were already medium-level emperors. However, the two fighters on the battle stage didn't see the Moon Group's members. Ji Wuyo's Cyan Dragon Totem was dazzling, while behind Lin Feng a Demon Dragon Totem had appeared. Both of their dragon totems kept chanting. Ji Wuyo's eyes were ice-cold. Lin Feng, I will use my full strength to fight against you. Ji Wuyo shouted. His dragon totem was shining. He waved his hand and dragons emerged, lunging at Lin Feng. Lin Feng released Devamara Kulpa strength, which collided with the dragon totem. Lin Feng had been cleansed by the Devamara Kulpa strength many times. His body was virtually made of pure strength. Is that Lin Feng's skill? His strength is so destructive, thought the crowd. Lin Feng spat out chi. Each time he breathed, he exhaled more chi. His Devamara Kulpa strength rained down as fast as lightning. It crashed against the first cyan dragons moving towards him, and they exploded. Ji Wuyo's eyes were bestial as he made hand seals. The cyan dragon totem behind him became gigantic and surrounded him, looking like an ancient dragon. For more dragons charged Lin Feng, surrounded by godly dragon flames, looking almost alive. Lin Feng shouted proudly. His Purple Lake battle tank appeared as his power rose, shaking the earth and sky. His tank moved towards the dragons at full speed and attacked the dragon lights, but was unable to move further. Ji Wuyo's strength was incredible. What a powerful dragon. Ji Wuyo is furious. He's using his full strength. Thought the crowd when they saw Lin Feng's purple tank was useless. Their hearts were pounding with excitement. The dragons were majestic and contained a powerful strength. Their dragon lights were dazzling. Lin Feng waved his hand, dragon chants rose, and Xian Yuan's axe appeared and struck out. Immortal, shouted Lin Feng, joining his hands. Immortal energy started flowing throughout the purple tank and destroyed the dragon lights. The earth and the sky kept shaking violently. The dragons and the tank kept colliding, and the dragons finally stopped. However, Ji Wuyo jumped forwards. The real dragon was still protecting him. He ran towards Lin Feng at full speed, looking like an ancient deity, aggressive and mighty. He was the first student of the lower ranking list. He didn't have an undeserved reputation. Among low-level emperors, he had few rivals. At that moment, the crowd remembered Ji Chang, the champion. He was powerfully strong. Nobody could defeat Ji Chang within Champion University. In the Holy City, Ji Chang was second, and only one person could oppress him, Ying Cheng. Lin Feng watched Ji Wuyo, who looked like a charging king, calmly. His eyes became pitch black, and his body was surrounded by immortal energy. At the same time, he released death energy, which rose to the skies. Death strangled the air, immortal and death energy churned around him. Lin Feng's demon dragon totem disappeared. A demon appeared instead, wearing demonic armor. Dark lights glowed about it like an ancient demon, surrounded by Devamara Kulpa strength. It was as if he could make anything decay. The Devamara Kulpa strength moved towards his hands. 9 skies dazzling cyan dragon, shouted Ji Wuyo furiously. The sky and the earth were suddenly filled with cyan lights and dragon chants. Even more dragons appeared. Ji Wuyo punched out, his lights blotted out the sky. 9 gigantic dragons charged at him. Ji Wuyo looked like a warlord. 10,000 Kulpa destructions. Death and destructive strength rose to the skies, as well as immortal energy. The Devamara Kulpa condensed in Lin Feng's fist. It was as if nothing could stop him. The cyan lights and the demon lights collided, the conflict of them blinding. The crowd couldn't open their eyes anymore. Many people even moved away from the battle stage. The battle was terrifying, those attacks could even kill medium-level emperors. Dong! Some powerful sound spread in the air, destructive energies surrounded the whole battle stage. When the energies dispersed and the atmosphere calmed down again, the crowd saw Lin Feng, who had moved back of a few proud steps. Ji Wuyo had surprisingly been driven away from the battle stage. His sleeves were ripped apart, and he was soaked with blood. Devamara Kulpa's strength still surrounded him. He lost. Ji Wuyo lost. The crowd was astonished. Ji Wuyo had used his full strength, they had never seen him use his full strength before, even when all the members of Tiantai fought against him successively. Ji Wuyo had tried to hide his real strength earlier because he didn't want Lin Feng to see it. However, he had lost anyway. The first student had been defeated. As Lin Feng had said, the first position had to change on this day. The members of the star group all pulled long faces. Ji Wuyo had lost, it meant that the star group had really started declining. That young man in white clothes had joined Champion University for only a year, and he was already the first student. At that moment, Ji Wuyo lowered his head and looked at his hands and arms, then he raised his head again and stared at Lin Feng coldly. He jumped forwards. Surprisingly, he didn't move back, he jumped up onto the battle stage again. "You want to die," said Ji Wuyo icily. His blood started boiling. He closed his eyes and powerful energies surrounded him. The crowd frowned, Ji Wuyo still had trump cards. "That's enough," shouted someone furiously. The strong cultivators of the Moon Group jumped onto the battle stage and landed in front of Ji Wuyo. They put their arms on his shoulders. Ji Wuyo closed his eyes and said, "Piss off." "Stop fighting," shouted one of the cultivators furiously. Ji Wuyo came back to his senses, but his chi was still powerful. Another member of the Moon Group looked at the crowd and said, "The battles were amazing today. However, we can stop here. It's a draw." Draw? The crowd was stupefied. That was a battle to death, and Ji Wuyo hadn't even given up. Lin Feng also wanted to fight, was that a draw? Chapter 1800, Admitting his defeat, "It's a battle to death," we both agreed. "Why are you getting involved?" asked Lin Feng indifferently. "We said it's a draw. You are both incredible geniuses. Why battle to the death? It would be a loss for the university." "I hope you understand," said one of them in a sharply, but he tried to keep calm. After all, they couldn't truly get involved, but they didn't want Ji Wuyo to die. "I can kill him," said Ji Wuyo coldly. The cultivator next to him said, "I know you have a secret technique. However, battling to the death or getting injured is useless." Then, he said using telepathy, "Even if you win, what will you get? You're just going to waste time." Ji Wuyo remained silent and he heard the cultivator say, "Besides, even if you continue, you don't know what his trump cards are. You may end up badly injured or dead. Continue practicing cultivation, you can fight against him another time and win, unless you're not confident and think you won't. Ji Wuyo remained silent and seemed to be coming back to his senses. Indeed, using his trump card against Lin Feng wasn't the best thing to do at that moment. He could challenge Lin Feng in the future again. I forgive him, I won't kill him today, said Ji Wuyo icily. Lin Feng frowned and looked amused. He said indifferently, you lost and you dare say you forgive me and you won't kill me? Ridiculous, since it's that way, let's continue the battle. Lin Feng, shouted the strong cultivator of the Moon Group, why say that? If Ji Wuyo uses his trump cards, he can be very dangerous. It would be useless for both of you. Let's say it's a draw. That's the best thing to do. Haven't you heard him? He said he forgives me and won't kill me today, said Lin Feng smiling coldly. He's just angry, said that cultivator indifferently. Lin Feng looked annoyed. He knew that killing Ji Wuyo was useless. Tiantai was weak in the holy city, but Ji Wuyo was so arrogant, Lin Feng couldn't stand hearing such stupid excuses. We can stop fighting, agreed Lin Feng, staring at the strong cultivator of the Moon Group, but a win is a win, a loss is a loss. There's no draw. He must admit he lost and we can forget about it. Admit I lost? Ji Wuyo looked petrified. Admit he lost? The first student of the lower ranking list, Ji Wuyo, admit his defeat? Accepting that he wasn't as strong as Lin Feng. The two strong cultivators of the Moon Group frowned. That guy was stubborn. Making Ji Wuyo admit that he had lost wouldn't be easy. Lin Feng, Ji Wuyo didn't use his full strength. A draw is the best thing for everyone. Why do you insist? Asked the strong cultivator of the Moon Group. Lin Feng snickered and said, let's continue fighting then. If there's no winner, let's continue until there's one. Boom! A powerful qi emerged from Ji Wuyo's body. On his back, a cyan dragon totem appeared again, gigantic and dazzling. Ji Wuyo! Shouted the strong cultivator of the Moon Group extremely loudly. He put his hand on Ji Wuyo again and released a powerful qi which restricted him. Ji Wuyo shouted furiously, what are you doing? Ji Wuyo, I promised Ji Chang I'd take care of you. If you use your secret technique, with your strength, you'll need a year to recover. It means that you won't be able to progress for a year. Meanwhile, Lin Feng will become extremely strong and you won't be able to catch up with him or anyone anymore. If you ruin your cultivation because of your impulsiveness, then you'll never be as strong as your brother, stated the strong cultivator of the Moon Group telepathically. Remember how Ying Cheng was many years ago when he was as strong as you. He was humble and talented. He admitted when he lost back then, and he did lose sometimes. Ji Wuyo shivered. He looked extremely sad and humiliated. He had to admit that he had lost. Lin Feng was going to become the first student. Ji Chang, if you act like that, you will never surpass your brother, shouted that cultivator again. Ji Chang's face was red with restrained anger. Finally, he nodded and looked at Lin Feng. I lost today. Another day, we'll fight again. It was as if Ji Wuyo had used his full strength to say that, before he ran away. Some qi remained behind, suspended in the air. After such a battle, admitting that he had lost was a painful thing to do. But Ji Wuyo understood that if he used all his trump cards, maybe he wouldn't have defeated Lin Feng anyway. Even if he had, it wouldn't have been worth it. Lin Feng was talented. With a year of time lost, he wouldn't be able to catch up with Lin Feng anymore. The crowd watched Ji Wuyo leave and sighed. He had lost. Ji Wuyo had finally admitted that he had lost in front of everyone. Lin Feng was now the first student. They looked to Lin Feng. He looked calm, serene, and yet arrogant, as if he had always known he'd become the first student of the lower ranking list, as if he had known from the beginning that he'd win the battle. Bzzz. Tiantai's members rose up into the air and jumped onto the battle stage next to Lin Feng. They all looked like heroes. Tiantai was now stronger than Ji Chang's club. The members of Ji Chang's club star group pulled long faces. Ji Wuyo had admitted that he had lost. They were declining. They had suffered a crushing defeat and Ji Wuyo, the first student, had lost against Lin Feng. Humph. Yuan Ho groaned icily. He flung his sleeves and pulled a long face. He was one of the managers of the star group, and in his hands, the star group had started declining. He felt totally humiliated. The members of the Moon group stared at Lin Feng sharply. The one who had been talking to Lin Feng smiled coldly. "You are really incredible. We gave you face, but you refused and you humiliated us. Even though you won, don't forget that your cultivation level is still very low. It's just the beginning." Lin Feng was amused. That guy was very polite a moment before because Ji Wuyo was on the battle stage. The members of the Moon group weren't supposed to get involved at all. Lin Feng and Ji Wuyo's battle was now over, and that guy's face had instantly changed. He wasn't polite anymore. "Don't worry, I won't grow dizzy with success. Everybody knows the reason why we fought against the star group, but it doesn't matter anymore. At the moment, Tiantai only has low-level emperors, but maybe in a few years, our opponents won't be the star group," replied Lin Feng. That cultivator frowned and said coldly, "Well then, whom do you want to fight? Within 3 years, my brothers and I will still come onto the battle stage. Of course, it won't be this one, it will be the one of the middle ranking list," said Lin Feng, smiling indifferently. Everybody frowned. Lin Feng was challenging the Moon group. "How arrogant," said the cultivators of the Moon group. They all looked furious and released a powerful qi, pressing down on Lin Feng and his friends. Tiantai's members looked angry. "The star group is very arrogant, it seems that you're not any different," said Tiantai icily. "In a few years, we'll show you what it feels like to be humiliated, just like the star group has been humiliated." "Little ignorant bastard," one of the members of the Moon group sneered coldly. Rumbling sounded as a gigantic earth energy appeared around Tiantai and buried him. Tiantai harumphed and shouted furiously. A punch attacked the earth energy, but nothing happened. That person shook his hand and the earth energy exploded. He smiled coldly and said, "Little boy, medium-level emperors and low-level emperors can't compete. Don't grow dizzy with success. Within 3 years, we'll be on the middle battle stage. When I challenge you, I hope you won't have forgotten what happened today," said Lin Feng calmly. The crowd frowned, while the Moon group's members were staring at Lin Feng. He would challenge the Moon group within 3 years. Was he dreaming? "I will remember," said the leader of the group, smiling and staring at Lin Feng. 3 years was impossible. Who would become a medium-level emperor within 3 years in Tiantai? You will remember, of course. 3 years was the time Lin Feng gave himself and Tiantai. He had to make Tiantai rise in the shortest time as possible. The Moon group was a kind of goal for them. Within 3 years, they had to be able to defeat the Moon group. After the Moon group, they'd challenge the rest of Ji Chang's club. That was the promise Lin Feng made to himself. Chapter 1801, The 7 Assassins. After Tiantai and Ji Chang's club's battle, the rankings of Champion University had changed. It had been a long time since such a battle had taken place there. People were still shaking with excitement. The star group had suffered a crushing defeat. Ho Qing Lin, Tian Qi, Tiantai the Wise, Wu, Qing Feng, and so on had all risen in the rankings. Many people were shocked. Why were Tiantai's people all so strong? They were all so talented. Of course, the most incredible battle had been the one between Lin Feng and Ji Wuyo. Lin Feng had defeated the first student, Ji Chang's brother. Now, Lin Feng was at the top of the low ranking list, amazing the whole university. Ji Wuyo had been at the top for such a long time, it was an incredible change, yet he was now merely the second student. After that battle, the most famous low-level emperors of Champion University were the members of Tiantai. From that moment on, people who would join Tiantai would be considered very strong. Ji Chang's club's star group was declining. It was as if they had lost their reputation between one moment and the next. Initially, many people wanted to steal Lin Feng's Celestial Evolution holy scriptures, but because of this battle, they had already given up on the idea. And if medium-level emperors and high-level emperors wanted to oppress Lin Feng with their strength, they had to think twice because he now had support. People usually admired the top 3 students of the university. Even though they didn't support them openly, the elders of Champion University understood this as well. In the remote mountains, Ji Wuyo was practicing cultivation like a madman. Yuan Jing was sitting next to him and practicing cultivation too. An old man appeared in the air and looked down at them. He was surprised as he landed next to Yuan Jing. "Ancestor," said Yuan Jing, opening her eyes. She bowed to Ancestor Zhu Tian. "What's wrong with him?" asked Ancestor Zhu Tian, pointing at Ji Wuyo. Yuan Jing looked awkward, but she finally admitted the truth. "Ancestor, we lost." "Oh." Ancestor Zhu Tian was surprised and asked, "The little boy defeated Ji Wuyo?" "Indeed," said Yuan Jing, pulling a long face, but nodding nonetheless. "All right," said the old man, nodding calmly. He said, "A defeat doesn't matter. Study hard." Then, the ancestor left, shaking his head. Ji Wuyo wasn't as strong as Ji Chang, but he didn't have time to take care of young people that much. The old man would wait before becoming Ji Wuyo's official teacher, he had to see how strong his potential was first. In another place, in Lin Feng's residence, Tiantai was lively. Yun Qing Yen looked overjoyed and said to Huang Fulong, "Buddy, look, there are already 13 more people who want to join Tiantai. I gave them months of exams to see how strong they were. If they succeed, I'll allow them to join the external disciples of Tiantai." Hee, Huang Fulong laughed. Tiantai was becoming famous. Even when walking around in the university, Huang Fulong had the sensation that everybody was looking at him in admiration. "Where's Lin Feng?" asked someone at that moment. Yun Qing Yen raised her head and saw a smiling young man. His hands were in his sleeves. "Why do you want to see Lin Feng?" asked Yun Qing Yen. "I have something to tell him." "Jing Shou, I have the feeling you harbor evil intentions," said Yun Qing Yen to the young man. Now, Jing Shou was the 3rd student in the ranking list. "What do you mean?" "Lin Feng is strong and famous. Even if I meant him harm, I wouldn't stand a chance," said Jing Shou with a smile. Yun Qing Yen wanted to say something, but Lin Feng came out and Jing Shou noted, "He's right behind you. You're looking for me." Lin Feng had just come back from Champion Hall, and now encountered Jing Shou. "Indeed. I want to talk to you," said Jing Shou, nodding at Lin Feng. "All right, come with me," said Lin Feng. He didn't refuse. Jing Shou was extraordinary, with an incredible reputation in Champion University as the first assassin. Lin Feng wondered why Jing Shou was looking for him. Lin Feng took Jing Shou to a courtyard with stone chairs. "Please have a seat." Jing Shou sat down, his hands still in his sleeves, as always. "So, Assassin Jing Shou, why were you looking for me?" asked Lin Feng. "I want to join Tiantai," said Jing Shou, smiling indifferently. Despite himself, Lin Feng was surprised and asked, "Why?" "I am more interested in the ranking list than other people, and I found the battles amazing. Tiantai's cultivators are incredible fighters, and many people who joined Tiantai changed," said Jing Shou, smiling indifferently. They hadn't fought on the battle stage for a long time, of course they had changed since the last time you saw them. "Otherwise, what's the purpose of being a university student, if you don't become stronger?" asked Lin Feng. However, Jing Shou shook his head and said,
other people haven't noticed, but I have. They haven't only become stronger. I'm an assassin, I see things people don't. I noticed that the core disciples of Tian Tai have studied the celestial evolution holy scriptures. Lin Feng frowned. Jing Shou was right about that. As an assassin, he had acute perception. I admire Tian Tai's people, you and your friends. I also think it's amazing that you transmitted the celestial evolution holy scriptures to all your friends. Who would do that? Asked Jing Shou, narrowing his eyes and smiling. No wonder you managed to survive after leaving the small world and coming here. Lin Feng was shaken. They had never talked that much. How did Jing Shou know that Lin Feng was from a small world? Besides, we are old friends. We should have stuck together, said Jing Shou. Lin Feng was dumbstruck, but Jing Shou ignored his facial expression and smiled as if Lin Feng had been his old friend. Lin Feng was very curious. Who are you? Asked Lin Feng. Assassin, Jing Shou, said Jing Shou, standing up. Suddenly, he released qi towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng's hair bristled and he also stood up, releasing his own qi. Don't worry. I didn't come to fight. Don't you recognize my qi? Asked Jing Shou with a smile. Lin Feng sensed the qi and trembled. Indeed, he had already sensed that qi, a very long time ago. Was it in a dangerous situation? Are you surprised? The first time I saw you, I didn't know you were Lin Feng until Ho Qing Lin and Tian Qi showed up and you recreated Tian Tai. Then I knew that the person I wanted to kill a long time ago had joined Champion University, said Jing Shou smiling calmly. However, Lin Feng didn't look happy, he was staring at Jing Shou. You're from the Celestial Qi Castle. No, absolutely not. The members of the Imperial Assassin Union are not all Celestial Qi Castle's people. They just controlled me for a certain amount of time, said Jing Shou with a smile that was not a smile. But I, the first assassin, had already left the Celestial Qi Castle before you were there, and now we meet again. That's a surprise. First assassin. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. Jing Shou's qi exploded. Lin Feng remembered the assassins he had met a few times back then. Surprisingly, the second student, Jing Shou, was the first assassin. Back then, in the small world, the Imperial Assassin Union killed people who were talented. The first and second assassins rarely had to show up because they only had to kill people who really had the potential to become extremely strong, and you were lucky, because you weren't on that list, said Jing Shou calmly. Lin Feng was surprised. Why didn't the first and second assassins kill me then? And who was the second assassin? The 7 assassins don't know each other, and they also change all the time. When you are available, you're an assassin, otherwise you're not. I did know who the second assassin was, replied Jing Shou. You recognized him? Asked Lin Feng. You know him. He was very important to the 7 assassins. However, I've heard that he also betrayed the Celestial Qi Castle because he was a member of the Celestial Wen Castle, said Jing Shou. Lin Feng began to recall many things. Who? His name was Wen Ao Shui, said Jing Shou confidently. Lin Feng frowned in astonishment. Wen Ao Shui was the second assassin. Surprised? You don't need to believe me. But I think that only a few people knew his real social status, Jing Shou told him. Lin Feng looked pensive, startled at this new information. Chapter 1802, Heavenly Grace Godly Wood. I'm surprised because the Imperial Assassin Union tried to kill Wen Ao Shui. Was he pretending back then? I don't need to think too much about him, however, Lin Feng said after remaining silent for a few seconds. Jing Shou smiled, who said the second assassin was extremely strong. Maybe back then he could have really died. Lin Feng raised his head, looking thoughtful, but then he smiled indifferently. He didn't care about the 7 assassins anymore.
His enemies were the members of the Celestial Qi Castle and the Palace of the Celestial Kings of Medicine. You are the first assassin and now you want to join Tian Tai, why would I accept, asked Lin Feng, smiling at Jing Shou. Maybe that the second assassin wasn't very strong, but I was the strongest, I understand how to kill people the best. Since you want Tian Tai to be powerful, don't you think I'd be a good fit? I'm strong. If I obtain the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, I'll be like your friends. And when Tian Tai becomes very, very strong, I'll be a powerful assassin in the institution, said Jing Shou, his hands still in his sleeves, smiling easily. Lin Feng's heart accelerated but he smiled back, how can I know that you don't harbor evil intentions? People who join Tian Tai are all brothers. If I betray Tian Tai, you'll all join hands and kill me. That's your motto, unless you think that you're friends and you can't kill me even if you join hands, said Jing Shou calmly. He was convinced that since Lin Feng and his friends had the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, he'd accept. As expected, Lin Feng smiled, release your godly awareness. Alright, Jing Shou nodded and released his godly awareness. Lin Feng transmitted the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures to him. After that, Jing Shou opened his eyes and Lin Feng said calmly, you are now a brother, if you betray Tian Tai, Tian Tai's members will kill you. We are now brothers, agreed Jing Shou, standing up and smiling, and then the two cultivators walked out together. Yun Qinya saw Lin Feng and Jing Shou come out, she was surprised. What had Jing Shou told Lin Feng? Their expressions had changed. Qin Yan, from now on, Jing Shou is a core disciple of Tian Tai. He'll help you make Tian Tai become stronger and bigger, said Lin Feng to Yun Qin Yan, smiling warmly. Yun Qin Yan was very surprised, but she smiled happily at Jing Shou. Jing Shou was the first assassin. He was an incredible killer. He was also the third student in the ranking list, so he was very strong. If he studied the Celestial Evolution Holy Scriptures, he would become even stronger. He also had incredible senses and acute perceptions, like most assassins. He could become a real asset to the group. Having an assassin was a great asset for killing enemies. Lin Feng left and looked for Ho Qin Lin, Tan Tai, and the others. Lin Feng said to Ho Qin Lin, brother, we're slowly rising in Champion University. Ji Chang's club are our enemies but they won't dare cause trouble for now. I'm going to leave for a while. Take our members away to practice if you have time, help them become stronger. Also, I accepted Jing Shou in Tian Tai. I told him to stay with Qin Yan, they're going to recruit more people. With you guys, I'm confident nothing will happen to Tian Tai. When Ho Qin Lin heard that Jing Shou had joined Tian Tai, he nodded, Jing Shou is mysterious. But he has a good position in the rankings, it's a good thing that he joined Tian Tai. I think so, too. I think Jing Shou also comes from our small world, he was the first assassin back then, said Lin Feng. Ho Qin Lin was startled. Lin Feng, where are you going? Tan Tai asked when he heard that Lin Feng was going to leave. I'm going to your tribe, actually. I need to ask some things of the elder of your tribe, Lin Feng said to Tan Tai. My tribe? Tan Tai was surprised and looked at Lin Feng strangely. Let's go. I know someone who has been injured, I don't know how to cure him, so I'll ask the elders of your tribe, Lin Feng told him. After leaving the university, Lin Feng and Tan Tai jumped into Lin Feng's boat and left the holy city. Lin Feng was so grateful that Duanmu the Celestial Emperor had given a boat to him. Without that boat, he would have wasted so much time traveling. They flew to a desolate area. Tan Tai's tribe still looked simple, as if nothing had changed since the old days, and the young people's cultivation levels were still so low. It was difficult to imagine that such a place was just outside of the holy city, unless you understood the philosophy of that tribe. Otherwise, many people actually despised them, thinking they were primitive weaklings. Grandpa, shouted Tan Tai. The old man turned around and shouted back at Tan Tai, you little boy, why did you come back? Did you have an accident while traveling? Hee, I didn't have any problem this time. Look at my cultivation level, beamed Tantai. Crackling sounds were heard and a terrifying chi rose to the skies as his lions roared. The old man was staring at Tantai. He smiled and said, "Little boy, what happened? You're quickly growing up." "Bullshit, you think I'm a weakling," retorted Tantai loudly, then he laughed and said, "Of course, I also came because of Lin Feng, he has something to ask you. No matter what he wants, you can't refuse, otherwise, I'll get angry." "You're becoming insolent, little boy," said the old man to Tantai. Then, he looked at Lin Feng, "Little boy, tell me what you want." "Master, I have a friend, a sword cultivator. He was injured by cosmic energies, and his injuries are severe. I wonder if you could heal him," said Lin Feng, bowing politely before the old man. Tantai didn't know if his tribe could heal sword cultivators. "I can heal almost anyone, I think. I just need time. And I need to see the patient," said the old man. "If I don't see the person, I can't do much." Lin Feng frowned. Was Emperor Wu Tianjian in Jiang'a? Even if he was there, would he follow Lin Feng to the periphery of the holy city to see a doctor? "Master, is there any other way?" asked Lin Feng. The old man remained silent, he looked pensive. Then, he nodded, "If you could obtain the heavenly grace godly wood from the godly wood valley, then you could heal any cosmic energy injury." "Grandpa, are you joking? Lin Feng would die if he went there, there are guards," Tantai blurted out furiously, staring at the old man. "I didn't tell him to go," replied the old man evenly. "Master, what is the heavenly grace godly wood?" asked Lin Feng. He was curious. He knew where the godly wood valley was, he had read about it in the Edict Palace. He had heard that there was a tribe there which was isolated from the world, maybe it was a world in itself. The members of the tribe protected their godly wood, but Lin Feng didn't know what it was. The heavenly grace godly wood is really well protected. It comes from the cosmic energies of the earth and sky. Some people say that the heavenly grace godly wood can help when fighting against great emperors. Your friend is injured, but with the heavenly grace godly wood, he could definitely be cured, explained the old man. However, the heavenly grace godly wood is in the godly wood valley, they don't allow outsiders there precisely because of the heavenly grace godly wood. There are many great emperors there who are terrifyingly strong. Nobody dares offend them. Therefore, you need to think carefully before trying to obtain it. An ancient tribe, thought Lin Feng before he said, "If I go there as a guest, will I have problems?" No problem, the godly wood valley and the world clan are the same, they can't stop people from coming. Actually, they also send disciples to the universities of the region, but those students never say they're from there, that's all, said the old man patiently. Grandpa, are there only two possibilities? Isn't there a third one? Asked Tantai to the old man. He didn't want Lin Feng to try and take the heavenly grace godly wood. In the holy city, many people wanted the heavenly grace godly wood. Those who had tried had failed and ended up in difficult situations. No, nothing else. The patient can come himself or you can use the heavenly grace godly wood, that's all. Of course, we can forget about the godly medicine of the immortals, said the old man indifferently. Very few people had ever seen the godly medicine of the immortals, getting it was almost impossible. Lin Feng, you should bring him here. My tribe can take care of him. I understand, nodded Lin Feng. He had already thought of a plan. He looked at Tantai and said, Tantai, you stay here, I'm leaving. Tantai knew what Lin Feng wanted to do. I'm coming with you, Tantai stated to Lin Feng. Lin Feng frowned and was about to say something before the old man interrupted, Go, just be careful. Chapter 1803, Godly Wood Clan. Even though the old man didn't mind, Lin Feng did mind and asked Tantai to go back to the holy city. Lin Feng had read about the godly wood valley in the Edict Palace. It was an incredible place. The people there were incredibly strong. Lin Feng preferred to go there alone. If he couldn't get the heavenly grace godly wood, then he'd give up. If he could get it, then that was great. Regarding Tantai, Lin Feng didn't want him to take needless risks. In the Edict Palace, Lin Feng had read that the godly wood valley was an ancient valley in the Great Shiny Mountain, a great distance northwest of the holy city. After a week of travel, a boat appeared in the sky above the vast Great Shiny Mountain. Lin Feng was still flying at full speed. The Great Shiny Mountain is just like in the legends, depopulated and scary, thought Lin Feng glancing around. There were rotten trees, orange grass, desolate mountain ranges, no sign of life. Lin Feng glanced around and whispered, "The Great Shiny Mountain is incredibly vast. The godly wood valley will be difficult to find." Suddenly, 3 Lin Feng clones appeared around him. 1 life turns into 1, 2 lives turn into 3, 3 lives, the 10,000 things of creation. Lin Feng turned into 3 shadows, and then 9, but those shadows looked like illusions, not like clones. They had no chi and seemed very fragile. More and more Lin Fengs appeared in the sky and moved in every direction. Lin Feng's real body landed on the ground. He closed his eyes and started sleeping. The 3 live scriptures allow me to have 3 bodies. However, when one body turns into 3, the 2 others still belong to your other body. It's impossible to control them independently. It's like a body transformation technique, thought Lin Feng. When he turned into 1,000,000 clones, his clones couldn't fight, but for now it didn't matter. The 1,000,000 clones traveled around in the mountains. Lin Feng saw some people there. One of his clones was in the air above a valley, his eyes twinkling. Then the clone's silhouette flickered and descended into the valley. Lin Feng realized there was a path there. At that moment, his clone slowly walked forwards. A new world appeared before his eyes, a city with a bustling crowd was there. Lin Feng had just followed some people to find that place. Far from the Great Shiny Mountain, the real Lin Feng opened his eyes and flew in that direction. When he arrived above the valley, his millions of clones came back to him and he became one person once again. Lin Feng created another clone. He looked as real as the real Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked at his clone and descended from the sky. After a short time, he arrived in the city. Even though there were quite a few people there, that city couldn't be compared to cities in the outside world. It wasn't as crowded, and there weren't as many buildings. However, people there were abnormally strong. On both sides of the road, there were vendors' booths. They sold godly wood. "Your Excellency, how to get godly wood?" asked Lin Feng of one of the vendors. The wood he was selling was red and twinkling, it contained cosmic energies. "A chapter of medium-level ancient imperial scriptures for a stick," the owner said to Lin Feng. Medium-level ancient imperial scriptures. Lin Feng looked surprised and said, "Is that heavenly grace godly wood?" "Heavenly grace godly wood?" The owner looked at Lin Feng strangely, smiled, and said, "Your Excellency, it must be your first time in the godly wood valley." Indeed, Lin Feng laughed and nodded at his words. The heavenly grace godly wood is the internal part of the heavenly grace ancient tree. Even if you can find heavenly grace godly wood, a stick can't be exchanged against medium-level ancient imperial scriptures, it's priceless. The wood we sell is from branches only. Of course, other vendors sell other parts of the heavenly grace ancient tree in the city, but the price will be much higher. Concerning the heavenly grace godly wood, nobody sells it in the godly wood valley. I see. So if someone wants the heavenly grace godly wood, there's no hope, right? Guessed Lin Feng. The stocks of heavenly grace godly wood are controlled by the main clan of the godly wood valley. Only their members can use it. If you want to gain some heavenly grace godly wood, you have to be a member of the godly wood clan. But to be honest, with your cultivation level, it's impossible, said the merchant. He was even surprised that Lin Feng had found this place. I understand, said Lin Feng politely. I can go to the Godly Wood Valley, right? You can. No problem. One day every month, the valley is open to foreigners. Some people go there to trade, it's a win-win deal. The Godly Wood Valley can't prevent its people from having contacts with the outside world. You came precisely on time, today is the open day, you're lucky. You can go to the Godly Wood Valley. Lin Feng nodded, he smiled and said, can we go together? It would be great if you could show me around. You seem nice, so why not, said the vendor agreeably. You must come from a powerful family, it's an honor for me to know you. Please call me Chong Lin. Alright, brother Chong Lin. My name is Lin Feng. Lin Feng talked to and got to know that vendor. After a short time, the news spread that the open day was starting. Lin Feng and Chong Lin walked to the edge of the small town and entered a new world, the Godly Wood Valley. In the Godly Wood Valley, there were trees everywhere. There were many different colors in the forest, and courtyards and gardeners everywhere. Lin Feng, look, those people are grafting the trees in the Godly Wood Valley. Those trees contain cosmic energies. They are not very natural though, they are not made of the cosmic energies of the earth and sky. Only the Godly Wood clan have real sky blue godly wood, said Chong Lin. Many people were in the valley and looking for things they needed. Brother Chong Lin, some people must also go to the Godly Wood clan, right? Asked Lin Feng. Chong Lin nodded and pointed at a group of dozens of people, they looked extraordinary. They are going to the Godly Wood clan. They are all extremely strong, weaklings can't go there. The clan has priceless items, and in order to deal with them, you need to be extremely rich. Let's go there too, said Lin Feng, and he started that way. Chong Lin frowned and stretched his hand out, but Lin Feng was already out of reach, so he smiled wryly, what a funny guy. Alright, I've never been there, so why not? The group of people kept moving forwards. After a long time, Lin Feng arrived at an ancient city. Cosmic strength floated in the air and covered the whole city. Lin Feng was astonished and gasped with amazement. That's the Godly Wood clan, who control the Godly Wood Valley. It's also a holy world. You can find real heavenly grace ancient trees here, said Chong Lin, sensing the chi. He looked at the cosmic energies in admiration. Let's go, said Lin Feng, and they continued on. However, at that moment, two young men with Godly Wood armors stopped them. You can't go into the Godly Wood clan's territory. But these people just did, said Lin Feng, pointing at the group of people. Chong Lin pulled Lin Feng's sleeve as the guard said, they were invited by the Godly Wood clan. They are allowed in. Lin Feng, those people must be business partners of the Godly Wood clan, that's why they were invited, said Chong Lin to Lin Feng using telepathy, let's leave. We've brought many great things. We can also be considered as guests, I guess, said Lin Feng, taking out weapons which floated in the air in front of the two guards, radiating oppressive energies. The guards glanced at each other and one said, since you came to trade, come with me. The first time, someone must lead the way. Thank you, said Lin Feng, putting his treasures away. Then, he rose up into the air with the two guards. Chong Lin looked at Lin Feng strangely and followed along. Lin Feng had come prepared. Lin Feng sensed the cosmic energies all around him and sighed. The Godly Wood clan was incredible, their territory was covered by cosmic energies created by the earth and sky. The guard took Lin Feng and Chong Lin to a palace. There were other people there, who looked at Lin Feng strangely. They didn't know these two new people, but they didn't care, the Godly Wood clan could deal with them if necessary. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.